What up, y'all? We are live here at the Angle of Pursuit. It is draft night. With me, as always, is Brian Twining. Brian, we have real sports that are unpredictable, and we don't know the answer, and we don't know the results, and it's not a live cast from 1987. And these times, they're truly wild. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, going to your previous comment about being unpredictable. I mean, so far the draft has been pretty predictable, but hopefully we see some interesting things happen.
I have a feeling it's gonna get a little interesting. The Chargers are about to have the pick in, so that's where we're at. If you guys are following along, if you wonder why we're not talking about something right as it happens, that is why. We're gonna have a special guest joining us from Fake Pigskin. We are gonna Justin Hebert. Justin Herbert is staying on the West Coast. It's gonna be a Los Angeles Charger. Yeah, so we got some stuff to talk. We got some guests to come. We got all the things happening. If you're on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, make sure you mash that thumbs up. Really gets people checking out our channel. Subscribe if you have a YouTube account. Tell your friends, share it on Twitter, hit it up. But without further ado, let's bring in our first guest of the evening. You read his work over at Fake Pigskin. You see him on Twitter. It's Dave Cherney. What's up, Dave?
Hey, Dave.
What's going on, guys? Man? It is party night, man. This is the best, probably the best night of the year.
You are live on the internet, my friend. How does it feel?
It feels, hey, this is secondary for me. I'm telling you, I'm just glad to be live on the draft night, to tell you. And it's so funny that Herbert just went and, you guys got to get down to the Senior Bowl because we had a great one-on-one with him, and he was just a fantastic kid. I'm happy for the Chargers.
Yeah, definitely. And the person you were down there with, you also recognize him from multiple Fake Pigskin platforms, including former host of this very podcast. It's Ron the Mad Dog McLeese. Ron, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself? That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah,
he's better muted.
The more things change, the more things stay the same, right, Mad Dog?
That's exactly right. But I do want to say I shaved for you today, Kyle, and I want to say it takes me back. Starting out with you, Kyle, at FakePigskin.com. We just, you gave me that opportunity to kind of get my feet in, dip my feet in the toe in the water, and we had a lot of fun with the Angle Pursuit, and I think back to that, and it just today full circle is like we're just doing what we love to do, guys, and that's like clock in and talk about football, and not just any football, but the 2020 NFL draft is finally here. We waited so long for it. All the pre-draft stops that Dave talked about, Senior Bowl, Kyle, the first trip with you there, just the experience, the pre-draft process, it all leads, all those roads lead to where we're at right now, and it's just a very exciting time. And the crazy part, Kyle, is I'll drop the mic in a second, but it's been predictable so far, and I'll let you go from here. But with Tua and Herbert, those two guys are going to the teams, and Burrow's just slam dunk. They're all going where we thought they would go. Does that surprise you, Kyle?
I'm sort of in shock here. I thought there was going to be some. I don't know. I thought Miami was a year away. To be honest, the Tua thing kind of threw me off. And I think the fact that Tua made the Chargers a little more interesting on going Herbert's way. Obviously, we will react to as many of these picks as we can. But Dave, you were mentioning you and Ron saw Justin Herbert live in the flesh at the Senior Bowl. There obviously was some questions with him coming into the draft, but is this guy a top, 6-7 pick? Is this the quarterback of the future for the Chargers, or are we going to be talking about them drafting high again in a couple of years, looking for that quarterback of the future?
Kyle, I just want to say before Dave answers that question,
yeah, I'm gonna.
His hair is unbelievable, man. Those locks. Go ahead,
that
Dave.
Flow.
It is.
Oh, he fits
it is.
See, I got Dave. He isn't.
I have a picture on, Facebook. I have a
He's got a
picture
lot
on
of pictures on
Facebook
Facebook.
of him interviewing him with his flowing hair. So
Yeah, you'll have to throw it out on the Twitter
Yeah.
for the kids.
but, answering Kyle's question, I just thought he was the steadiest of the quarterbacks. He was the best that I had seen. But the quarterbacks are going to go. They always do in the NFL draft. They always get taken. I think the Chargers still have a lot of skill set around, and I think he will break in a lot easier than you're going to see most of your rookie quarterbacks. So I think he's going to highly succeed. The thing I liked about him, when I talked to him, he was a true leader, and that's what I always look for in my quarterback, is just being a true leader, even if you're not the most precise passer.
Absolutely. And Brian, I want to pick your brain because obviously Herbert goes as high, and obviously there was a lot of hype and a lot of stuff going around him. But that Rose Bowl game, I feel like really solidified him as a top 10 pick, and kind of showed a few things that we really hadn't seen during his time in Oregon. I know we both have, kind of talked about him a little bit in our last show, but where are you at? Do you think this is the guy that can lead this team, or do you still have a bunch of question marks? Because like Dave mentioned, he's walking into a situation. They obviously need to fix the offensive line a little bit, but outside of that, they have a lot of pieces to play with.
Even though I was a little bit more down on Herbert as compared to Tua, I do kind of like the landing spot.
Shame on you.
I like
Tua's
the
better,
landing
but that's
spot
okay.
just because he's going to be able to sit behind Tyrod Taylor for a year. He's going to get to learn.
Sit behind anybody. There's no way. You don't draft a quarterback top 10 with this talented. Let Tyrod play.
No. Hopefully they don't make this mistake and just
we are going to be
there.
making a wager on that. You picked.
This is Blake Bortles 2.0 take two.
This is going to be the Baker Mayfield situation.
Love it. Let's go.
You're going to have Tyrod Taylor start the season as the starter, and
then
they're going
he
to
gets
play
hurt in week 1.
They're gonna kind of run a conservative offense anyways. Now that Phillip is gone, they're gonna lean more heavily on the running game. I expect them to go out and either draft a running back here, or maybe potentially look in trading for Leonard Fournette, who I still think would fit perfect in that offense as a 1-2 punch with Austin Eckler.
Call.
But I think he even if he does get put into the starter's role sometime in the middle of the season, he's kind of set up to succeed with the weapons on the outside, kind of like Dave said, and with Anthony Lynn at the helm. They're going to be, anywhere in the range of 55-60% running, even with Tyrod, and then it'll probably increase with Herbert under center.
Ron, let's talk some Herbert versus Tua. I don't want to factor the current situation in too much. Obviously, Herbert's going to a better situation with more talent around him. But in terms of just draft analysis, where you see both of these guys fitting, how you think they can evolve as players, both coming in and coming out, where are you at with these two guys? Is it close? Is it who is your favorite out of the two? Give me some nuggets.
Here's the thing. We all love winners, and
we
just
love
my
people
time
that want to win.
Exactly.
Where's my Singletary? Is he coming in?
That's the thing about Herbert, though. That's being questioned. That's what I wanted to add when you guys were talking initially, because I talked to a couple of Dolphins, personnel down there in Mobile. I'm not going to name any names, but they had questions about.
That's what we're here for.
They had questions about his leadership, Kyle, and it was not, his tools, like the intangibles. They also questioned how much he loved the game and all this stuff. And honestly, I think it's going a little too far. But at the same time, what I saw in Herbert was a little mix of, it seemed like to me he had that kind of Baker Mayfield, moxie, intangibles, that mentality. But at the same time, I don't know that he's driven. And I think those questions, they're there. But honestly, if that's the worst thing you have to put up and knock him, I think that's not good at all. For me, though, Tua, this guy, yes, Burrow went number 1 overall. We expected that. But let me tell you, there's a lot of smart people in the building, Kyle. You know this, Dave and Brian, that have Tua as their number 1 quarterback. And, it's out there, man. There's a lot of people that are banging that drum. So, again, there's something to that. I think a true winner, Tua, not only wants to win, he wants to go undefeated. This is a guy that's driven. We saw how he made his how he came in, in a national championship game and just stole the show. I mean, this is the kind of player he is. So I think that it factor, you can't measure that on a scale, Kyle. So for me, I'm taking Tua. I think he's going to have a better career. He's going to have more challenges in Miami and South Beach. Having said that, though, I think that he has having that it factor, just the moxie. I think that he has more of that than Justin Herbert. And again, he's a better overall, more seasoned quarterback, I think, than Herbert. Maybe some people will disagree with me, but for my money, give me Tua over Burrow, man. I'll go out there and just call me crazy.
We built the whole podcast on that round, so it wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last time.
Team Tua. Can
I just throw one more thing in there?
Right on there.
As you're finishing a beer. What about the injury history?
Is
that not a concern?
Guys, if his medicals didn't check out, would he go number 5 overall? Hell no.
Nope.
The medicals checked out. So it's obvious to everyone.
I'm not talking about now. I'm talking. We love
the thing is the thing is that any of these quarterbacks could take the.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. That's exactly what I was going to say. They all have the same risk. We could see this. Week 2, week 3. He drop back, boom. All of a sudden he goes down. We know this can happen. We can't predict it, but I mean, Tua, for my money, this guy played on so many good teams. He has proved himself. He's had a lot of talent around him, supporting him. But my one thing with Burrow is, okay, I'm going to use this maybe a lazy take, but for me, Burrow was unbelievable. I'm not taking anything away from him, but it was just one season, and I kind of go back in my mind and I think about a guy like Mitch Trubisky, though, Kyle, just one season. I want to see more. That doesn't mean that.
Right. But the thing I'll say about that is Burrow did play at LSU in 2018 and 2019, so he has those he has the starts to be interesting enough. There is a lot of guys that don't have those starts that they go to the next level and they just can't do it. But I went back because I had some of the same concerns as you about him. Is go back and watch that 2018 tape, and those throws are there. Those he has the arm. Obviously, he has the Buckeye pedigree, so obviously he knows.
I was just going to say that. I was waiting for you to say it, Kyle. Good point. If he stayed at Ohio State, what would have happened though? It feels. You got to think.
Honestly, if Justin, the Heisman Trophy in a national championship is what I assume. I
just want to add. Yeah. I just want to add real quick, the NFL's all-time winningest quarterback and the quarterback with the most Super Bowl championships went to what school, boys? Michigan. So, we could talk all you want about Ohio State quarterbacks.
There we go.
Where are they?
He started all 4 years, right?
I love this.
It's not like he was on the bench for most. He was behind your boy Greasy.
Hey! I still think that Brian Greasy was a better college quarterback than Tom Brady, but.
No, he's not.
Speaking of that, guys,
he won a national championship.
Ooh.
Brian, since we're talking quarterbacks, just off the cuff, guys, is there a quarterback that's going to be taken late? You brought up, guys like Tom Brady. You don't see 6th, 7th round. There's not a Tom Brady in this draft that you're going to get late. But if there is a quarterback that you're going to get late, I'm just curious, Brian, is there a quarterback that you like late? I know we're in the first round here, but I'm looking ahead here. That's how I work.
I am really interested to see. I'm going to stick with Michigan here, where a guy like Shea Patterson, who when he was coming out of high school, he was one of the most highly recruited guys. He's super athletic. He's got some good wheels. And in today's NFL, if somebody wants to put him in kind of a RPO style system and where they're not relying on his arm, I think he could be fairly successful. I don't really see him as being a championship quarterback, but somebody that could get you 500 record or so. I think he could be a decent guy late in the draft, or as an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, I like Anthony Gordon out of Washington State. I think he's got an arm. I think he's better than the Minshew walk that we saw last year.
Kyle, they're saying that he's going to be this year's Minshew. You're exactly right. And
I don't know. That's kind of lazy.
But does he have Minshew's moxie?
Can we talk about Isaiah Simmons going to the Cardinals? Did the Cardinals just get the second best player in the draft?
Great pick.
Wow. I think Ron. I think the Cardinals just took the second best player in the draft.
Like, honestly, like, this is the one defensive player that's polarizing at the same time. Like, he's so versatile. Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, these guys, these type of players that come into the league, that can play pretty much anywhere. I mean, he could pretty much fit anywhere in any scheme. And I think going to the Cardinals there in the desert is a perfect landing spot for him. They know how to mature these young defensive players and bring them to that next level. And I think that this is a Cardinals team that continually just keeps making smart decisions, like from the top, down.
Yes.
And I like everything they're doing. This team is going to be amazing. Kyle, I want to rewind back to like a year ago. And I remember you tweeted, you tweeted something about Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers. And in a dynasty, I'm a dynasty guy. We already had Kyler right there with Aaron Rodgers. A year later.
Wow.
Now, I was with you, Kyle. Let the record state. I was like, I'm not willing to put him ahead yet. But now, like a year later, that's exactly what dynasty is. And Dave, too. It changes so fast. But now Kyler Murray, oh my God, man! Like all these weapons, and you put a defense, behind him. I love it, man.
Yeah, I kind of don't like them having a defense because then he gets more opportunities to throw the ball and for fantasy potential. But Brian and I did an NFL Win show. We did NFC and AFC. If you like sports betting, make sure you go back and check that out. But we talked about the Cardinals. It's wild. Like it feels like in 2 or 3 years, this division has completely flipped on its head, and the Rams might be the worst of this division. The Seahawks, we'll see.
Unbelievable.
And the Niners are dominating, and here comes Arizona, and they get Nuke Hopkins. Now they have Isaiah Simmons, and there's a real path to the Cardinals being a playoff team in 2-3 seasons.
Kyle, I just want to ask you, what's the story on Kenyon Drake? Because I think that's the last missing link, unless they have something planned for running back here in round 3, round 4. They like.
I think they'll draft somebody, but I think Kenyon Drake's the guy to own there.
The Drake show. Dave loves Drake.
That'll be.
That's an inside joke.
Freaking hate Drake.
Is it going to be like Lamar Miller? Is it going to be like Lamar Miller? Remember how excited everybody was with Lamar Miller when he left Miami and he went to Texans and finally going to get all the touches?
That's my thing.
You got a lot of things.
You got a lot of things.
I mean,
Brian,
Miami.
Brian, talk me some Arizona and the Kenyon Drake show. Is that something you're going to be buying into this year?
I mean, with the kind of offense they're going to run, they're going to be spreading the ball out like crazy, and they're not going to be lining up with many 2 running back sets. So you're going to see Murray in the shotgun, which is predicated towards Drake's skill set. He's good on those little delayed plays, kind of swinging out of the backfield, catching the ball. I would like to see them kind of add a bruiser, maybe towards the back end of the draft, just kind of a bigger guy in his goal line situations. But
AJ Dillon.
I was just going to say, what about AJ Dillon?
AJ Dillon, like in the 3rd or 4th round. Like
that means it's definitely not happening.
He would be great in that offense. Like even if they lined up with 2 backs in the backfield and you were able to run an RPO and kind of play fake to Dillon and then be able to run the option with Drake and Murray, like this offense could become the best offense in the NFL if they play their cards right. Yeah.
Ron, what do you think of Zach Moss?
Yeah.
I'm a Moss fan. I just love the name. First off, I was really disappointed that I didn't get to see Dave and I didn't get to see. We stepped off the plane in Mobile. We wanted to see Zach Moss. I mean, this guy. Here's the thing. I kind of compare him a little bit to Kareem Hunt in the aspect that in Dalvin Cook a little bit when it comes to the combine, because those were players that we expected to just nail, just ace the combine. And when you run a 4.6 40, everyone's going to be like, what? But here's the thing.
That's what I expected from Zach Moss. That's what I see on tape. Looks like he's running in the mud. That's why I'm like, I see these people that are so excited about him. And I'm like, I don't.
Have you ever had a bad day at work? You showed up and like everything went wrong. I think that's kind of what it was for Moss with running that. And like, I look at that 40 time. I mean, if you judge Kareem Hunt by his 40 time, he would never got.
I don't judge the 40 time. I judge the tape where it looks like he's running in the mud.
Well, again, we all watch tape and you pick up something that I don't pick up on and vice versa. So it's like, that's what's so fun about the whole, just breaking down these players and giving our, scouting reports. I could be dead wrong here, but at the same time, like your take could be completely different than mine. And it's just fun to, watch that and kind of get our own different takeaways from watching tape, and that's what makes it fun. But I'm with Brian. This offense is going to be rolling and saying, give me Nuke Hopkins everywhere. And I'll go on the record saying I think that these receivers are the best core receivers that in the NFL because they're so young, but at the same time, you don't even know what you have in Hakeem Butler. And Andy Isabella just scratching the surface. And these are like secondary guys. And then you have Christian Kirk.
And Christian Kirk might be – it sounds like Christian Kirk's going to be playing somewhere else next season. I don't know why, but they've already – I don't know if it, how legit it is, but obviously they had
he's on the block.
Kirk to the Cowboys. I'd like to see him in Nashville running on the opposite side of A.J. Brown.
I saw David and Brian's eyes get really big there, Kyle.
open up the offense a little bit. I'll be so for that.
No, because that would kill Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
Amen to that. We don't want to kill Michael Gallup.
No, I want him in Tennessee. I don't want him in Dallas. We need receiving help. We need to open up our offense. Yeah, bring it back. Amari Cooper should have shut the door on that, but here we are. All right, guys, the pick is in. The Jaguars are on the clock.
Let me just say, I predicted the Jaguars would take CeeDee Lamb. It was kind of like a crazy outside the box kind of.
That's kind
like
of
pick. Here's my thought process: is like they had DJ Shark, but if you had that second, exactly, if you have that player that can take the top of the defense and play opposite, Shark.
It's CJ Henderson, and it's the cornerback out of Florida.
I'm so disappointed, guys.
Okay, cool. Serious question: Is there a fantasy? Assuming, like, obviously the Leonard Fournette situation is in the air, but if we assume that Leonard Fournette is elsewhere next year, is there a Jacksonville Jaguar that you are drafting in your fantasy team?
Shark, baby, Shark. Dave, tell him Shark Week should be every freaking week.
Oh yeah, are you talking about? Oh. Yeah,
he's asking if you're drafting a Jaguars player, who are you drafting?
Or another running back, I would draft.
Well, that's to be determined. Like Kyle said,
DJ Chark.
Brian, are you drafting DJ Chark?
No,
I probably wouldn't, just because. I mean, I just don't know what other pieces we're going to see over there, and Tennessee's kind of beefing up their defenses. Their pass defense is kind of their strength on the outside. Houston, I'm sure they're going to do some upgrades on the outside. We're going to see Indianapolis probably make some moves here in the draft. So I don't know. I just don't see Jacksonville doing much on offense this year.
Yeah, I really feel like they're going to be the Bengals or whatever, the team that we're going to be, talking about as the number one pick, and we're going to know, 8 weeks, 10 weeks in the season that.
Personally, I don't get it though, Kyle. Their defense is solid across the board. Like really, I mean. Get some more playmakers. But they traded
Boye, and Ngakoue is going to be gone. They're shedding pieces left and right.
I don't know. I'm selfish here, Kyle. It's like you're taking a cornerback. Yes, he's a big play guy at Florida, but he had some like off the field issues, a little checker pass there. CJ Henderson, one hell of a player. I'm sure he's going to be good at the next level, but is he going to be great? Is he worthy of a top 10 selection, guys? I don't think he is. I think he's good, but not first top 10. No.
So Ron, is he the first cornerback off your board? Is he the guy you're drafting, or are you drafting somebody else?
I mean, honestly, with the upside, he probably is, but I think this is a year where the cornerbacks, I think I'm not as in love with any of these guys. Obviously,
this is like AJ Terrell is like the only other guy that's really first round consideration, right? Clemson. DB?
Well, yeah, I mean. The best one was already off the board at pick 3. So I think after that, it's kind of why take a cornerback now when maybe you can get him in the second round, third round? It's unpredictable, but at the same time, you got to really believe in this player to take him in the top 10. You really got to know that's your guy, and I'm getting him, and I'm swinging for the fences. I mean, Ryan Pace, like he swung and missed. Like, you make these moves, you draft these guys early, and they don't pan out, you're on the hot seat, man. So in Jacksonville, that pick right there could be the GM's on the hot seat if it doesn't work out. But for my money, I think they do believe in Minshew, and I think that they just need to add more offensive weapons. And this Fournette thing, I don't know, man. Like if he's a cancer, get rid of him. But you got to fill that void if you do.
Yeah. This is where I think the draft's going to get really fun for fantasy people because I think a lot of those the big receivers are going to start flying off.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs. Let's see what the Browns do. The Browns are about to make their pick. The Browns doing Browns things.
Kyle,
This
can I
is an-
ask you?
Yeah,
Can
you
I
can
do
ask
all-
me anything.
First receiver off the board. I just think, Kyle, we have to ask this question to everyone here. First receiver
Well,
off the board.
CeeDee
I
Lamb.
guess I don't think it's going to be Lamb. I think the Jets are going to take one at 11. I think they're not going to take the best receiver on this class, and I think they're.
I
Going
think
to go,
Brian's a smart guy. We should listen more to Brian.
I think we're going to see
Uh,
3 straight receivers drafted right here.
Yeah, and I think Henry Ruggs is the first receiver off the board.
Now
I'm
that's a
going
bold call,
Judy.
Cotton. Whoa.
I don't think he's the best. I
I'm
think he's
going
the first.
Judy.
You're going
But
Judy.
that begs the question exactly, Brian. It's like your Judy versus Lamb debates are going to
I'm
rage
going
on.
Judy.
And then once we have a landing spot, we can really sit down and debate. I was on the Dynasty Bros podcast about 2 months ago with those guys, and I had a lot of fun with them. And we had that debate. It was the Judy versus Lamb debate. And I'm like, I'm planting my flag on Lamb because this guy's a playmaker. Everywhere he's played football, go back to Texas, man, the numbers he put up, he's just, dude, the big plays. I think over 40 yards, he led college football last year for receivers for plays over 40 yards. So it's not only him, making those catches in big time clutch positions and situations. It's being able to get that yak, after the catch,
Yeah.
Escape, gone, boom. Like that's what CeeDee Lamb offers that I don't think Judy does, guys.
Yeah, Judge Judy is like Marvin Harrison. Like he's going to be a great route runner.
Whoa,
Judge
whoa.
Judy.
Looking really good, but I think CeeDee Lamb's that guy. I think he's Julio Jones. I think he's DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's the guy that if you're Ron, you have the 101 in a dynasty, in a rookie draft. Who are you going with? Where are you going? Are you
Okay, hold on.
taking a running back?
Is it standard or is it super flex?
Superflex.
Uh,
You
no.
had to do that, Brian.
No. We'll keep it
Yeah.
standard because I want to talk
Yes.
running backs and receivers.
Because I have the first pick in a Superflex dynasty draft.
Here's the thing. Before
thing?
we know landing spots, I'm just going to go ahead and say, in Superflex, I'm taking Tua number 1. If it's not Superflex, I'm waiting till I see because I have Dobbins and Taylor so close here. Big Ten. Shout out to Big Ten. I have them so close, guys, that I need to see the landing spot. But I love Dobbins. Kyle and I were talking about Dobbins
Man,
before
you
the show.
too.
Dude, he complete back and dude, you broke Ezekiel Elliott's rushing record. Why
I
is
agree.
it? Why aren't
Yeah.
more people
Yeah.
talking about it? I mean, come on. Like
the correct answer is CeeDee Lamb. Unless if the
Yeah.
Jets take him and he's got in Adam Gase's offense, like I don't want any part of that. But if he goes pretty much anywhere else, even Oakland, I would be happy with CeeDee Lamb as a 101.
I was actually going to say I'm actually more interested in the receiver that gets drafted by the Raiders than
you
than
say
any of
Oakland?
the other guys. Yeah, he did say Oakland.
Dude, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it too, Kyle, and I've done it time and time again. I just cannot stop myself. The Oakland Raiders just
I still
sounds
say
right.
San Diego,
Hey.
so.
Hey, I got
right.
Los Angeles Chargers nailed in. So this time next year, I'll be nailing the Vegas Raiders.
Can,
just call them the
guys,
Raiders.
can I ask you a question, Kyle? Because as a
No.
Titans fan, I want to ask you a question.
No questions allowed.
Your Titans,
And
wow, did they surprise last year? No, real quick.
I want
Are they going to draft a running back to complement Derrick Henry in the 3rd to 4th round, or not? Because there's been a lot of talk about this, Kyle, and I think that is one need. A guy that can kind of keep Derrick Henry fresh. If that is the case, who do you like there?
I would be willing, and this may seem blasphemous and slanderous, and running backs don't matter. But I would be happy to take a running back as early as our first pick in round 1.
Would it be Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
peeing in a Gatorade.
I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire would be nice if we plan on keeping Derrick Henry around. But I am very, very happy to draft J.K. Dobbins and say bye-bye to Derrick. Say thanks a lot, King. I'm wearing his jersey tonight.
Oh my
but,
God, blasphemy, man!
I'm ready. But but hold on, before we move this
Unbelievable,
conversation
dude! You're
forward,
giving up on Henry. He's your savior.
I'm
man.
not giving up on
I
him. He's
know.
a running back. Running backs don't matter. You use them,
I
abuse
didn't-
them,
I
and you
didn't
send
even
them on their
get
merry
to
way.
I disagree. The
Um,
guys that are size, speed combos that can do what Derrick Henry does, they are freaking special, man. And those running backs, you make sure you keep and they kept him for a reason.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry only plays half a season.
You don't pay him $30 million, and and this isn't LaDainian Tomlinson, this isn't Christian McCaffrey. But let's pump the brakes of this convo because we got a guest in the waiting room, and he's itching to tell you how wrong you are, Ron.
I hope he does.
Let's bring him in.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Shane?
Whoa,
This motley crew. No,
We gotta
Ron,
go in.
One
We
and
gotta
only
go
Shane P. Hallam.
Ron actually got me angry enough to come in, so it was good.
I do that to a lot of people.
In a super flex, you're taking Tua at the 101. Are you kidding me? Joe Burrow just had the greatest college football season known to man in 150 years.
We've already been through that.
I
What's
knew
up,
I would
man?
excite you, Shane.
How are you taking a
Whatever
guy
it takes.
you're taking a guy that's had 5 injuries? Number 1, I'll take him number 2. I'll be good. Jeez, Elise, he's out. But no, how's everyone doing?
We're doing good. Apparently, your takes were so hot that Ron had to leave the room.
I wanted to.
That was my goal. I got
That was. I mean, I should have brought you in sooner if I'd have known Ron was going to leave.
No, Andy,
Guys,
no,
I was just getting ready for Shane because I knew I needed a refill because I was kind of parched here. You know, we brought in another Ohio State Buckeye. You know what? Just forget about my bad take here, Shane. I want your take on what we were just talking about. You know, the best running back in this class. No, Kyle and I are sitting here pounding the table for J.K. Dobbins, and I want Shane's take on this. Let Shane talk.
Ron, will you shut up?
Dave, you're breaking
I
up.
didn't get a chance to put my name
Okay, mute Dave.
out there, you big mouth.
Mute. We want to hear Shane. We don't care.
Okay, guys,
I feel like
Jets
you're not-
pick is in too.
You're not letting Dave talk. He's getting angry over there. He's an older gentleman. You gotta be careful.
I am. I want to hear Shane's take.
You know what? When
No,
Shane
what-
says
you know,
that,
you
you're
guys.
right. Let Dave
Jonathan
talk. Shane, you're
Taylor.
right.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's the best running back in his class. Look, I love
There we
Dobbins.
go.
Not
Yeah.
named J.K. Dobbins.
There we go.
I love Dobbins.
That's
Top
why they
5
make
guys.
vanilla and it's chocolate ice cream, guys.
The top 5 guys are all great. Okay, look, there's no doubt about it. But look, when you have a player that if he would have stayed for another year and actually played 4 years like the guys above him, would be the leading rusher in NCAA history. He's a monster. You know, fumbles don't matter that much. You know, he can catch the ball fine. Wisconsin running backs never catch it in college. Melvin Gordon's just fine at catching the ball. Jonathan Taylor will be fine. So I'm excited to see a lot of it's going to be.
Melvin Gordon is not the comp you want if you're talking about Jonathan Taylor's future.
I mean, for catching the ball. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
great.
That's
You know what I
Shane,
mean?
who do you comp him to, Shane? I'm just curious.
Marshawn Lynch, I think, would be a good comparison for him. I think he plays violent, gets in those small holes, finds a way to kind of squeak out, you know, has that lateral agility. So I think he's a faster Marshawn Lynch, and that's a win for me. You know, I
Minus the
think
Skittles.
hopefully. I don't know. You know, we'll find out. But no, I think he's top 5 backs. We'll see where they go. I mean, at least the top 4. You know, I think Swift will end up going first in the draft, in the NFL draft. And so we'll see.
Let me ask you a question, Shane, about pass pro. Who do you think's more proficient in pass pro between those two backs and Dobbins and Taylor? Because you know
I
that
think-
matters for playing time.
Yeah, I think Dobbins is.
Yeah.
The Jets out here taking O tackles.
Yeah, they took Mekhi Bacon, whatever the hell his name is.
Mekhi Becton.
Hey, Kyle, just
Yeah.
be happy it wasn't Judy or Lamb. Guys, let's all celebrate.
Yes,
Becton,
yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yes, because they both get an increased value in fantasy for next year.
Yeah.
Shane, how obviously, if you haven't checked it out, make sure you're going to fakepigskin.com. Shane, you dropped your what? Top how many whatchamacallit? You dropped your big board? My brain stopped
100.
working.
Yeah,
with
top 100 players.
Top 100.
It's fun.
How is it going
Yeah,
for what
yeah.
you had
That was fun,
versus kind of what the NFL's doing? Do you feel like you're simpatico so far? Or?
Yeah, I think it's decently close. You know, I wish my mock had been a little bit better. I bought into Miami taking Herbert, but I'm glad they didn't. But you know, my top 100 is more kind of my take, and I think Justin Herbert's trash, so that's going to go well for the Chargers. So it'll be nice.
Can I just say something? I want to give Shane a shout out real quick. Like, this is the one guy that I really respect this. the guy messaged out his rankings in our league group me message. You know, guys that we haven't even, we're all drafting against. Like Shane is the kind of guy that's like, these are my rankings, love him, hate him, but like I'm putting them out there, and I love that about you, Shane. And honestly, last year I got to give you credit, Terry McLaurin, dude. You had him so high up your ranks, and I was like, I had to do a double take, and I'm a McLaurin guy. I was like, whoa, Shane loves him that much. Well, look what happened. Terry McLaurin is for real. And maybe that's your Ohio State bias, but I'm not calling you on that. But you were exactly fucking right.
You're not calling him by calling him on it. I appreciate that, Ron.
That's fine. Look,
no, but it's
Dobbins isn't my number one running back, so
the fact that Shane will throw his ranks out there with guys that he's drafting with a week from now, and they all see it. That's why I respect Shane, because he's like, "This is come at me, man."
Gotta throw it out there. You know.
Okay, guys. So the Raiders pick is in.
Is it?
Yes, and this has to be a wide receiver, right?
This is the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's see if they figured things out by moving to Vegas, or if there's just the Raiders you've always known.
Okay. I mean, are they gonna go defense, or are they gonna take a weapon on the outside for Carter?
Let's bring in our IDP expert, our defensive expert, another pigskin guy.
Oh my
What's
God!
What's up, Kyle? You were live on the internet.
What's up, man?
How we doing?
Doing good. Just watching the draft.
How are we feeling so far? Anybody, Isaiah Simmons, IDP superstar?
Oh man, that Arizona defense is going to be something, man.
Sick.
I'm really curious what they're going to do. I wonder if we're going to see Simmons at strong safety, Buda over a free safety, and then Campbell and Hicks, and then Chandler Jones and Kennard off the edge, man.
Yeah. Well, and the nice thing about Simmons is he's versatile, right? They can play him at off linebacker. They can play him at safety. They can do a bunch with him. I'm really curious to see in terms of like what positions he's going to be listed at for IDP.
As a defensive guy, does that give you wet dreams thinking about that? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
It has to.
Yeah, it went from 6 to midnight when Arizona took him, man. Yeah, no, I'm really curious to see what kind of designations he gets, especially
Gruden and Mayock are both happy, so you know this pick is awful.
Okay, guys, as a Cowboys fan, real quick, before we get too close to their pick, I have to warn you, I'm very terrified about what Jera is going to do with the selection, because he's in a room by himself.
Okay,
he told all the
taking
scouts
offensive
to
line.
stay away.
So here's the thing. They said that the coach, the player personnel guy, or the GM can put in the pick. Is there going to be like a situation where one of these guys goes rogue and just puts in the name they want to draft, even if the rest of the board hasn't decided? And if a team's going to do that, wouldn't it be old Jera down in Dallas?
Grant Delpit, man. That's the guy they should take.
Palpatine would show up and just force choke them from his house if they did that.
Okay.
So don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. The first tight end goes off the board.
Oh God, Dave, you and your tight end stories here.
I'll be shocked because they're all terrible. They're all god awful.
Dave, you missed the memo.
I
This is
know.
not a good tight end rookie class, guys.
Well,
Repeat,
Dave,
this is not. It's okay, but it's not great. It's not good.
Okay,
No, it's not okay.
I do want to
If you're
talk.
looking for Evan Ingram, OJ Howard, they don't
Have
need
you
this
seen
guy.
Jerry
Was I
draft
right?
pick?
Was I right?
You were right.
I was
Yeah.
right. That's right. Give me all the money. All the money.
Know that, but have you?
Did you call that, Kyle?
Yeah, I said first receiver will be Henry Ruggs.
Kyle's puffing out his chest right
Yeah.
now. Guys, everybody, give him a minute. Give him a minute.
I bet
Savor that.
with my buddy that Ruggs would go before Judy. That was our bet we made earlier today.
Dude, Judy's
Bad teams stay bad.
guys. I got to go do a.
Can I ask you guys a question?
refresh,
A Ruggs
have fun. I'll be
question?
right
Okay.
No, we want to ask you questions, Shane. That's why you're here.
No. I want to ask you questions. Is Ruggs gonna be? Is he gonna be better than Marquise Brown, or is he just gonna be this kind of speed? A player you can't really rely on fantasy. You need those big plays. Like that's my
Don't take
fear.
Tavon Austin.
Oh,
No. I think he's
No,
better than
I'm kidding.
Tavon Austin. stunk
I
in
think
college.
he's really interesting. I don't think he makes a ton of sense with Derek Carr. If you put Cam Newton in the offense, if you
What if we
put
put Marcus Mariota in the offense?
as somebody who
Hold on a
watched
second.
as we
Kyle,
saw,
can we rewind back? I just want to puff my chest out like you just puffed yours out. I mean, hold on. We have Ruggs. We got some Ruggs, and dude, Ruggs is going to tear stuff up. I think Ruggs is not just a speed guy. I think there's, with Alabama, you have 5-star athletes out there and competing against each other. These guys really never. OJ Howard, another example. I don't think, at the next level, a lot of these 5-star recruits, I think, are going to be better at the next level. I think Ruggs kind of fits that profile. I think more opportunities in the right situation. He's the type of player that I think Hollywood Brown was great, and I think the jury's still kind of deliberating on him, and don't give up on him. But I think the Ruggs is better.
I think he's really good. I just that offense kind of changed. But Shane, as a resident Devy guy, is Devonta Smith actually better than both these guys? Both the Bama guys?
No. I think Devonta Smith is good. I had him rated above Henry Ruggs as an all-around player. I think Devonta Smith is good. I think he has a shot at the first round next year. I think Judy's clearly the best all-around receiver, right? But when you want that speed, you're not going to find that elsewhere. So I understand. I think teams are moving to that. I think Tyreek Hill is the reason for this. Just when you have a guy like that, he's so hard to game plan for. The Ravens want it. The Raiders want it. That's hard to find. And I think – this isn't. It's not Darius Hayward Bay bad. Ruggs isn't that bad, but I do have a fear. Can he actually do more than just run that? Like at the line of scrimmage, man. If he gets jammed, he gets taken out of games, and that's easy. That's easy to do.
Yeah,
that was a knock on N'Keal Harry last year too, and that was very true.
About some of the Bama guys in general is when you have CeeDee Lamb and you have Devonta Smith and you're not, you're getting a lot more one-on-one coverage. You're not getting as much over-the-top safety help. Like what can you do when that one thing you do is not there?
Well, let me add real quick too, is going to Shane's point about getting jammed at the line of scrimmage and stuff. We've all kind of seen Derek Carr. He's kind of that first read quarterback, and then he's really not looking to extend the plays and go downfield to a really speedy guy. He's more likely to either dump it off or throw it away, even on fourth down. So
it sounds like you're talking about Baker Mayfield, Brian, because you're exactly right. Under pressure, he's dead.
It's offensive lineman, that's gonna make or break them.
No, but here's my take. Go ahead, Brian.
I was just gonna say, if they can kind of implement him as more of like a gimmick player, put him in motion a lot, have him kind of running into backfield on those fake jet sweeps, out on jet sweeps, I think he could really stand out as a kind of a steal here at the 12th pick. But if they're going to line him up as a traditional wide receiver, I think you're going to see problems because Derek Carr he's really not the guy. And I think that's why Gruden went out and signed Mariota. He's going to see what he's got in him. And I think they either look at Cam or they look to draft a guy next year.
Trevor Lawrence, yeah.
So I just want to
this has to be
right? I remember in our first mock, I had the Raiders taking 2 receivers. I had them taking Ruggs, but I had them taking Higgins at this spot, and then Ruggs with their next pick. I didn't get this one right, but I think that the Raiders are thinking playmakers. To your point, Brian, you're exactly right. They need to get some playmakers out there on the field and give Derek Carr a chance, dude. And how do you do that? You put the fastest player in the NFL draft this year on the field and give Derek Carr, a weapon. And I think that I love what they're doing. I just want to see them continue to do that. If they can get T. Higgins with their next pick or another receiver, I love what they're doing.
The receiver class is so deep that they have 2 picks in the second round. They use one of those picks on a receiver, whether that's Michael Pittman, T. Higgins, or whoever. There's something to be excited about.
I mean, T. Higgins isn't going in the first round, so it's not going to happen.
Shane, this was like 2 months ago, Shane. But yeah, you're right.
Oh no, it's fine. I had him in the first round 2 months ago. You're good. I think what about for fantasy? What happens with Ruggs? I think I'm still going to take a number of receivers in my rookie draft over him. The Raiders, the playing time situation's good, but like you guys said, I don't think the consistent numbers are going to be there.
We have a trade. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now on the clock.
Hey, there you go.
Oh God, are my Ronald Jones shares going to suffer, guys?
Yeah, that's what I was terrified of.
This can't be running back. This has to be offensive tackle.
Tackle, right?
The tackles are gone. Tristan Wirfs, right? Wirfs has got to be it. That's who's left.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like Javon Kinlaw or I mean, what would they?
I'm gonna go with
Nah,
that.
'cause
I'm
they-
gonna go with tackle.
Yeah, because they have
I like
Sue
Kinlaw.
Stamps, so.
You like Kinlaw?
Kinlaw seems like a perfect fit in their scheme.
Yep.
Tampa Bay, they got all the offensive weapons they need. Come on.
He's got the medical issues. He's got the medical issues. I think he's not going to go. You don't move up for him, but
Shane, have you heard his backstory? I think for me, hearing his backstory when I was at Senior Bowl with Dave, like Kinlaw to me seemed like the guy that was like, he might not be as good as the guy next to him, but he's going to train and work his ass off to get to the next level. And for me, the chip on the shoulder thing coming from where he came from and his story, I think this guy's motivated more than most of the guys in this draft rookie class. Defensively, he's got something to prove, man.
I mean, that's great. That's great. You could say about 30 guys in this first round. Okay, like let's.
I want to see him in
get
Denver,
real.
Shane.
Let's
I
get
want to see him in
real.
Denver.
I mean, let's get real. It feels good, but these NFL teams aren't going to. I think he'll get picked. I do. But it's going to be interesting. So I
think we all need a feel-good story right now, like the way things are. We just got to believe in something, and it's just like I like seeing those types of underdogs, and that's exactly what Kinlaw is. And I think some lucky team's going to snatch him up, maybe back in the first, and he's going to make a big impact as a rookie.
No, I think it could happen.
So what did the Niners get by moving back one pick? Because they obviously got 14. What else did they get?
Yeah, it ran by me on Twitter. So here we go. 14 to 117. They're giving 13 and its last.
Yeah, I'm actually
round
gonna
pick. So
I kind of want to hear an IDP take here from a guy that actually knows IDP and writes about it on fakepixing.com. Can we get an IDP take on Javon Kinlaw? Tell me I'm crazy or not.
Oh no, I like Kinlaw a lot. He's a beast. He's probably the best interior pass rusher in the class. He's big. He's athletic. He's got the length you look for. He's got power. He's the real deal, man. He was my number 2.
Do you worry about him being that raw, or is that kind of like a good thing? Because he is raw.
Yeah, he is a little raw, but he plays hard, and he's got the size, and he's got the skill, he's got the motor, I think he's really going to be a really good IDP asset, especially in DT required leagues.
So where would be your ideal landing spot if you could pick it right this second?
Right now?
Put you on the spot, man.
Put me on the spot. I like him in I like him in Atlanta.
Oh, that's a hot
that's
take.
good.
Yeah, I like that spot for him.
I have him going to San Francisco to take DeForest Buckner's position.
Yeah, no, that'd be a great spot too. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I do. I really like him.
Fill that void, Shane. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe we'll
while Tampa makes this pick, let's talk a little Gronkowski just to kind of get a read of the room, because obviously some people think he's a borderline top 10 to 12 tight end in fantasy next year. Some people.
I'm sorry I'm laughing, Kyle, because Dave and I got some really good Gronk stories from our Uber driver in Mobile. We'll leave that for some other time off air. But
I want to hear it from Dave. Dave hasn't said like 7 words since I've been in here. I want to hear
Dave
from
can tell
Dave.
a story better than me.
I want to hear from Dave
Dave,
today.
what are we doing with Rob Gronkowski?
Tell the story, Dave.
That
Full disclosure.
Ron doesn't shut the hell up.
I like how Ron's on as a guest and he's out here hosting it and pushing the questions around.
No, I'm not telling that story here. Family show. This is a
Dave swore to secrecy with our Uber driver.
I am.
Go, Dave.
Anyways, Gronk. I'm downgrading him. I think Brady is definitely on the decline. I think I was telling Ron this earlier today. I was telling somebody this earlier, is that Belichick does one thing. He gets rid of a player 1 year earlier, 1 year later. So I'm kind of worried about, his back is still a problem. And I Just don't know how he's going. It's just going to be something different. You have
Well, Dave-
Arenas down there.
Dave, why are they holding on to Julian Edelman then with his year early thing?
Edelman should be.
They got rid of everybody else.
So,
He'll be next.
yeah.
They don't have any receivers because Belichick can't draft any, so they can't get rid of
That's
them.
true.
Good point.
That is absolutely true. I worry about being an OJ Howard owner. That at least for the next
He has to be somewhere else next
Let's
year.
just be real, guys.
because they're going to
Here.
force Gronkowski the ball.
No one likes
I
Gronk.
believe.
The only people
So
who like
again,
Gronk-
if you're an OJ Howard owner, you're going to have to kind of sit on him for a year. I wouldn't go ahead. Let's throw that out of him. I mean, I'd party with him. I just don't think he's going to be a great fit down in Tampa, and I don't think Brady is either.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm moving Gronk, whatever I can get. Starting with a future second, and I'll move down from there during the rookie draft. I'll try for a third, future third. I mean, trade him for whatever.
Shane, in your tight end premium leagues, you're exactly right, Shane, and you might be able to actually get a second or third. Here's your thing: go to the Patriots.
There was a trade today in my dynasty league where he went for the 206.
I was just gonna say, Shane, you target the Patriots fans in your league, and you try to trade them, float them Gronk for a second. Just like Shane said, I'm telling you, it worked.
Tom Brady's gone. There are no more Patriots fans. They're all
All right.
A good point, Kyle, but they're still there lurking.
Tank for T-Law.
That's true. Good one, Kyle, but that's very true.
Thank
New
you,
England's
thank
going to draft Shea Patterson.
you. Oh,
Yeah.
Here it comes. Trevor Lawrence.
So I'm
in
not
New
gonna tell the
England.
whole story, but I'll say that Gronk's not ever allowed back in Mobile, Alabama, for a few things, and yeah, Dave will tell the rest after the show.
if he shows up in town, they'll open the doors and let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, you should-
I don't think so, Kyle.
Another topic we shouldn't.
It's fun to have fun with it. And
Well,
he'll-
the women will.
My only question is, how are you allowed back in Mobile? Do you have to stay outside of town now?
I'll be honest, the drinking in Mobile, it didn't kill me. Hanging out with Dave didn't kill me. Hanging out with you, Kyle, first year didn't kill me. But the swine flu or coronavirus that I caught the last 2 years, I've caught shit coming back. That almost killed me, guys. And I'm still talking and doing this show, and I'm just privileged to be here, man. Like, coronavirus hit me in January.
So when
Nah,
this,
I got that every year at the Senior Bowl, man. I got sick every single year, like couple
Yeah.
days in.
Yeah,
so I'm not
we're
the only one
lucky.
saying-
No, it
Maybe
killed me.
same
Yeah,
here.
this sounds like a ringing endorsement to schedule a trip for next year.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
now-
when you're there.
it's those hotel rooms so you can get sick on your way back.
We've already
You're fine
tried
if
to
you
bribe
sleep.
Shane a
If
few
you stay up
times.
and drink, you have
Yeah.
a problem. That's the problem.
Very, very true. Okay, so when CeeDee Lamb
So where are we going next?
CeeDee Lamb to the
I'm
Niners,
still in shock, guys. I'm still in shock here that Ruggs was the first receiver off the board. As much as I do like him, I agree with Shane. He should not be the first receiver off the board. That, to me, I like the fit, but at the
no
same
one
time,
thinks that except for John Gruden, apparently.
I will say, Kyle and I had on our previous pod, we had talked about kind of the depth of the wide receivers and the possibility that because there are so many of them, we may actually see them fall in the draft because teams kind of know that there's kind of this group to talent base of these guys that they could get later in the first rather than spending an early or mid-round pick on these guys because they know they all kind of fall under the same skill sets. And this could be the beginning of
Yeah, I mean, I think the other,
so the wide receiver position has kind of become the running back position where they could just sit back and wait because there's so many of them. To your
I
point,
think,
Ryan.
I think this year it's a special class. I think there's just so many really good receivers. Shane, you were gonna go for it.
no, sorry, I was just gonna say, I just think the need for teams isn't high, right? I think that's why we see a little bit of a fall too. Is no one's going to take a receiver in the top 10, and no one's realistically going to trade up there. Now we're going to start to get into that area where teams need that receiver. San Francisco, Denver,
and it's going to be a specific fit.
Yeah.
right.
Well, and
So
there's-
Philly. So I mean, I think we could see a move up for one, but I think it's a super deep class. I actually look. This is as a whole, this receiver class is the best class I've ever seen. Next year is a much better class at the top. I think we actually have legitimate top 10 receiver prospects that we didn't have this year. But this year, I think you're going to have fantasy contributors that are drafted in the 3rd, 4th round of the NFL draft. So I think, the well's going to dry up really quick next year. Next year's for tight ends, and that's about it.
Shane, real quick, Shane, to your take, I have a question. So, Are you saying more so that there's not as much depth next year in the wide receiver class, but it's more like top heavy, where these guys could be more in line for wide receiver ones in fantasy and dynasty? That's what we care about, being selfish
right.
here.
I think next year is a very top heavy year. I think when you look like Jamar Chase from LSU, he's Julio Jones. You're gonna have a number of those guys at the top. Rondale Moore, is that Percy Harvin type player. I think there's 5 or 6 kind of elite receiver potential guys
Rashad
next year.
Bateman from Minnesota is like right up there. There's a lot of people saying he's right
Jalen
there.
Waddle, Seth Williams, Tamarian Terry. I think there's a number of guys, but it's going to dry up by the mid-second round of the NFL draft. This year, there's going to be quality guys in the 4th. I think and then this year, I think the running back class is much better than next year. I think tight ends is the other area that's strong next year that we've trashed this year. So.
Yeah, I think especially because the tight end class is so weak this year.
Shane, I
consider him to be the best wide receiver in this draft class, but Henry Ruggs was the first to go.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just going to ask Shane a quick question because it was a question we asked earlier, and you weren't on. But do you see running backs going in the 1st round? I said 2 will go at the very end, and most everybody else. No, just what your thoughts?
There it is.
Yeah, I think 1 will go. I think Swift will go maybe late. I think it's possible none go. I'll actually be a little surprised if 2 go, but it definitely can happen. I think Taylor and Dobbins and even Clyde Edwards-Helaire are up there. So.
Javon Kinlaw, there it is.
There it is. We see. He said that. I think I did. That was me.
That was you. That was you.
No, that's look. I think you. What do you think, Kyle? I think he feels that he can fill that Forrest Buckner role well.
Absolutely, yeah. No, yeah, it's a great fit.
Yeah, I get the pick. I get but like, is it just a cost saving move? Like, is that the only reason out Defoe for a 1st round pick just to replace him? Like, if you, I don't know.
So I mean, they got a 1st and a 4th. You're going to get Kinlaw in there, much cheaper option. This is the John Lynch type of pick, right? He likes to build those trenches, and so you're never going to be able to keep all those players. I think it's a possibility that when you trade a guy away like that, it's money, but at the same time, they probably didn't love him. You probably didn't love his personality. You didn't think he was this great, this great teammate or player on your team, or you probably would have paid him over someone else, right?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, they paid Armstead to stay, so I could see him kicking inside with Kinlaw, and then you have D Ford and Bosa coming off the edge and some sets too. That would be pretty solid front for him there.
So is Solomon Thomas just like nothing? Like, is he just?
Man, I thought he was going to be something, but
yeah, because I thought the whole point. I thought like they were going to get rid of Buckner, they were going to get one of the stud receivers, and then maybe move Solomon Thomas inside. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, I thought he might be a rotational guy on the inside, but I was wondering if they were going to go wide out here and hope Solomon Thomas progresses.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing their plan is to get a receiver with their other 1st rounder. Right. I honestly think they could trade back with that one too and acquire more picks because that's what they like to do.
Yep.
I wanted to mention real quick. Do you guys see the possibility coming up here in about 5 picks that the Raiders get their choice between CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy? potentially
they're not gonna
getting.
agree.
They're not going to take them. They're not going to take either one.
Where
Yeah,
where do you?
I agree.
They'll
They
take
should,
AJ Terrell.
they should, but they won't. You're exactly right.
Yeah, they'll take AJ Terrell over.
Okay.
Exactly. It's the Raiders.
Okay, here going back to my scary thought from earlier. What do you think the chances are that Jerry Jones, being so enthralled that he is with speed and just kind of the playmakers, goes out and he takes one of CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy instead of kind of filling a need like Xavier McKinney at the
Oh my
safety
God,
position
Ryan.
for the boys, or
I love
K'Lavon
it.
Chason? Like,
I was
You-
telling Dave like a week ago, I'm like CeeDee Lamb in a Cowboys uniform, book it. If the guy falls in the draft, which we're witnessing right now, guys, yes, I think that this is a guy that someone's going to trade up to take
Yes,
right now
Yes, we are.
because
I hope,
someone's got to be as love with Lamb as I am. Come on,
I
I'm
hope
telling
John,
you guys.
I hope John Robinson's on the phone right now looking to trade up because opposite AJ Brown, we could use some help. What is this guy doing? He is real excited about something. Where
I mean,
where are the Broncos going here? Like I
I
know
think-
there
I
was a
think-
lot. Go
I think
Shane.
they'll take one of these receivers.
Look at Kyle. Look at Kyle. Come on, Kyle. Come back to the show. Come back to the show.
I'm just enthralled by what's on my television right now, Dave. It's wild.
Yeah, I know who you are. We can tell.
I just want to give credit to the person that called Kinlaw to the 49ers. Bold call, Cotton, but it worked out. Boom.
How do we feel about Drew Lock having Cortland Sutton and CeeDee Lamb, or Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy?
I love Drew Lock.
Yeah, just send it.
I'm in.
hey,
You know,
no, go
it's-
ahead, Shane.
sorry, it's worth.
That was
He's worth
pretty
to get
good.
like
Yeah.
like one good game last year. I didn't love him as a prospect, but I think this offense is moving in the right direction. They get him some weapons. So I'm in.
Yes, that definitely fits with what I've kind of talked about how I like Denver to kind of surprise some people and maybe sneak in there as that last wild card spot, going 9-7, 10-6, because they got the defense. If they add another piece on the outside, I think with Noah Fant, Cortland Sutton, they're going to have a good running game, even with the plotting Melvin Gordon back there. I like Denver as an up and coming team here.
I can't wait till like week 4 or 5 when Philip Lindsay's getting like 80% of the touches and Gordon's just sitting on the bench.
All I can say is lock it up. Lock it up. This guy, he's not getting enough credit. I mean,
Did you come up with
he's
that
a-
on your own, Ron? You've been waiting to
no,
unleash
that's
that?
one of
You
my,
guys are nuts.
actually
You guys are nuts. No, I agree.
that's one of
with
my
that.
that's one of my fantasy football team names. Lock it up. But honestly, when I got a chance to talk to Drew Lock, actually, I talked to his father during Senior Bowl practice last year, and you could see the work ethic, man. Like he was raised right. The guy really is going to be the first one there showing up. No, he's a Peyton Manning type player. I think that he goes out there. I'm not saying he's going to be Peyton Manning.
Jerry
I'm saying
Jeudy.
he works. like it.
Jerry Jeudy opposite Cortland Sutton. I think
Wow.
Drew Lock's
Yes.
got some toys. It's time to step up.
You know who's going to benefit from this? Noah Fant. I think Noah Fant's going to have a hell of a year too. I think that's
Noah-
going to be.
Noah Fant or Rob Gronkowski next year.
It's not even a question.
Man, the tight end. Yeah.
What have you been drinking tonight, Kyle?
Not enough, apparently.
No. I also like that Ron just talks
Get
about
with the
everyone's.
program.
Ron just talks about everyone's work ethic, and it's great. You know,
I mean,
Yeah.
that does stand out to me though, because you can kind of tell these
But he-
guys. I mean,
Talk to his father.
Josh Allen's talking about growing up on
Father-
a farm, Dave. Like,
Father-
you know what I'm saying? Like, the guy knows what it's all about. But I saw the same thing, from Drew Lock. Maybe I'm just a little biased, Midwest biased, but again, I think that a lot of people are not giving him credit, and it's probably because probably because John Elway can't get it right and has not got it right, and we have that in the back of our head. We think he's
good.
going to fail.
I do think it's interesting that both AFC West teams, other than the Chargers, went kind of offensive skill players, kind of trying to keep pace with the Chiefs here in the division rather than trying to beef up their defenses a little bit more and try to stop them. They're going to try to improve their offenses to be able to score a little bit more against the Chiefs team led by Mahomes over the next 7-8 years.
So let's go around the room real quick. Brian and I have debated this, but if you're picking an AFC West team that's not the Kansas City Chiefs,
Awesome point.
who are you taking next year? Obviously, we've seen all three teams add pieces to their offense.
Well, I'm going Broncos.
Dave, who do you like if out of an AFC West team that's not the Chiefs? Like, who do you think is going to be the best team next year?
Give me the Raiders.
Ooh.
Yep, give me the Raiders.
Ooh, hot
Dave's on
take.
team. Dave's on team Raiders with me. I don't know how I feel after taking Ruggs, but I might stick to my guns for at least another week. Ron, what about you? If you had to pick a team that's not the Kansas City Chiefs to be the best team in this division, who is it?
Well, I mean, I want to pick the Chargers, but I'm not picking the Chargers. The Broncos, I mean, it's easy answer here. They
If
have
you
the
wanna
defense
pick
set
the
up.
Chargers, pick the Chargers.
No, I mean, I'm still not. It's going to be a couple years for the Chargers and the moving pieces they have, I mean, quarterback position. But no, I mean, the Broncos for me, I'll give Locke. He's had that rookie season to kind of get the kinks out, and I think he's just going to improve from here. And you're giving him weapons. I mean, obviously, this is what we're seeing. I like what they're doing. And Melvin Gordon, a tandem, Philip Lindsay, don't give up on Lindsay, but those two guys I think will work well together.
Shane, what about you?
I'm really torn. I think both the Broncos and I'll pick one, but I think both the Broncos and Raiders will be very good. I think both of them could make the playoffs. So now we have that extra wild card team. You know, I think that's a possibility because I think both are well coached, and I think both teams we saw big improvements last year in certain facets that'll get better. I think the Broncos will be a little bit better. I trust Drew Lock a little bit more. I think they have a little more weapon wise, but. You know, I think the Raiders, I mean, Mayock and Gruden have killed last year's draft. So I kind of have to put my trust in them. I think if they do well with the rest of these picks, I mean, I think that Raiders team is going to really improve.
Kyle, what about you?
I'll take Denver and Drew Lock with all that moxie he's got. And they get Bradley Chubb back, and him and Von Miller off the edge will be nice. And then Judy and Sutton, yeah.
Kyle, are you just over here like what's that dude? Oh man, I screwed that up. What you're Packers like these receivers are falling, and you're just like you're just over here rubbing your hands together. Just
Oh, dude,
on your lap.
Give me a wide.
I mean, Kyle, there's so many to fall though.
Right,
Like,
right, yeah.
If CeeDee Lamb ends up catching passes from Aaron Rodgers opposite Devontae Adams,
Yeah, I'm buying his jersey tonight.
Carson Wentz, baby. Carson Wentz. CeeDee
Yeah.
Lamb. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Philly needs some receivers for sure.
They're really
I think
special.
I think they need to come away with at least 2 receivers in this draft.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, this is the year to do it because
Yeah.
Arcega-Whiteside is not the answer. I mean, I think he'll be good, but not like a big-time playmaker for him. More of a red zone target.
I thought
Yeah,
he was
I mean,
gonna be
Yeah, I
good.
mean, and Jeffrey, obviously, he's just an injury waiting to happen. Probably be traded or released, shortly, I would guess, if they do go that route. But yeah, I mean, the tight end position, Dave wants to talk about a tight end. I can just see it in his eyes right now. Who's the first tight end that goes?
And I
Who is it,
played
Dave?
tight end. I played
Saturday?
tight end in college, man. What do you want me to do? Did we get everybody's take on the AFC?
Yeah, I think we went all the way around.
yeah. I wanted
You
to
know
add
what-
one more thing about that. It's super funny
Okay.
how everybody is off the Chargers kind of bandwagon just with the departures of both Melvin Gordon, who they were worse with him on the field last year, and Phillip Rivers, who had a propensity to throw game-changing interceptions, and now they're going to be running a more conservative style offense with Taylor, which is likely going to lead to less turnovers. They still have a really good young defense. I mean, their corners on the outside are potentially the best tandem in the NFL. Derwin James, full season, still got Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram coming off the ends. Like, I don't want to write the Chargers off. I don't think they're going to be up there with the Broncos, but I think it's too early to kind of shove them down to the bottom of the division. Also, like they could easily compete for that second spot.
Yeah, I mean they might have the best roster of anyone not named the Chiefs in the AFC West, but we haven't seen Derwin James and Joey Bosa. Like I think they played one game together during their whole career. So like if we can get them both on the field at the same time, that would be really nice.
They drafted Trash Boy Herbert, so like that's not going to help. And then look, I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be top 3 pick bad. Okay. But I think they'll still be in that 10-11 range. So I think they're going to win some games with defense, but I don't think the offense is going to be, say, what San Francisco was able to do last year. I think enough to say, hey, this is a legit team. But it could happen if that defense is dominant. I mean, are the Raiders or the Broncos going to, if they can't score on that defense? I think the Chargers can score enough, and win some of those games for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna play a lot of games in the team, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so the Falcons.
Are we so
on
sure
the
that
clock.
Kansas City's winning that division?
I think we're pretty sure.
Who's gonna stop them?
Anything can happen.
Have you
I
seen
think
Super
Dave's
Bowl
stuck in the
winners
money.
before? Not compete the following year.
Yes,
Yeah.
very true.
I don't know. I think it's less likely.
Yeah,
I think they're a top.
I'm just
3 team, probably.
we're just
AJ Terrell, Clemson. Go ahead, Dave.
Well,
no. I was just gonna say. That's a good division there. I could easily see one of those 3 teams. Well, maybe not the Chargers, but any of the other 2, and I could see Kansas City falling off because we've seen Super Bowl teams get a little full of themselves and do not come back as well. We've seen it time and time again.
look, I think the Chiefs need a good draft. Like, I don't think that their roster is complete. I think they need a good draft. I think they need some offensive help. They need some defensive help. And I think if Patrick Mahomes gets hurt again, yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, he's going to be so hard. He's so good. Yeah. But, and his numbers, weren't even as good as 2 years ago. So, I think he might even get better this year. And we'll kind of find where he actually is, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. Obviously, they have some tweaks they need to fix. They need to upgrade their defense, but they have a lot they can do because of Patrick Mahomes. So I am curious, like you said, though, how this roster kind of evolves over the next couple of years, because a shorter window than many expect, and we're looking at in 3 years, all of a sudden it's Mahomes and Travis Kelce and a lot of pieces that need to be replaced.
I think what you're trying to say, Kyle, is that they're not getting any younger, but at the same time, you have a young core. Yeah. But Kelce's, I think, the exception to the rule. He's definitely the elder of the group. But having said that, yeah, I mean, I think the biggest question right now, and we're getting to that point, guys, is what do the Chiefs do with that first round pick? I mean, if you're sitting there in the catbird seat, again, a great team, they have one hole that we all look at, and that's running back, and we've all been like saying it. If there's going to be a running back go in the first round and the Chiefs take him, who's that running back going to be?
They're not going to take a running back.
Yeah, why don't they go wide receiver?
They could.
I think they need to go defense, or I think take a wide receiver makes a lot of sense.
Don't Cesar Rez take an interior lineman, right? That's what they need. A center. They need someone just man that offensive line, because that offensive line's sharp. You don't need a running back. Damon Williams is fine. I think they take an Anthony McFarland and Antonio Gibson later in the draft, get a compliment to Williams, kind of an Austin Eckler type. I think that's probably what they'll do. I know we all want one of those top backs to go to the Chiefs. Like, that'd be nice. But instead we're going to get one of the Lions, and that's what you have to do. It's life.
These are the cards we're dealt. Dave, your Cowboys are on the clock. Where are we going? What do you want?
I think we're going. Well, it's Jerry Jones, so that's a loaded question. I'm hoping we go safety here. I mean, the defense definitely needs an upgrade. The offense, I think, is pretty well stacked. Maybe not stacked, but doing pretty well. So I'm going safety here. I have to look. I haven't looked to see who's still available.
Yeah. Grant Delpit going here.
Dave, what do you think about Chase on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Jerry Jones is such a splash player here. It would not surprise me if he went tight end. And I mentioned that earlier in the show, only because of Jerry Jones. But if he was smart, we're definitely going on the defensive side of the ball, safety or cornerback.
Brian, what about you? As our other Cowboys fan in the room, what do you want here?
Well, I've seen a lot of mocks with them taking one of the pass rushers that chase on, or somebody a little bit later in the draft. But I actually want them to get a safety, and I think McKinney kind of fits here. We've been searching for a guy to kind of play on the back end since Darren Woodson. So, they kind of need a guy that could solidify the pass defense on the back end, especially with them losing Byron Jones. So
yeah. So you're saying Jeff Heath is not the answer?
Neither is Clinton Dix, I can tell you that. I've seen that show firsthand.
No, I'm not a huge fan of Clinton Dix.
Yeah,
he's a gamer though. Heath is a gamer.
He'll show up sometimes.
I will just say I might have to close my computer and cry if they take CeeDee Lamb here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Mike McCarthy, the offensive wizard that we know will use CeeDee Lamb in the right way. So it'll be great.
Yeah, McCarthy knows how to adapt, man.
It's not what we need, though.
No, it's not. I hope it doesn't happen. I think Chase on would be a great pick. I think Kenneth Murray, if he can develop his instincts a little bit better, I think he could be a nice, linebacker. And safety. I like McKinney a lot. I think Antoine Winfield might be a little more of that ball hawking guy. It seems a little high for the safety here. I think you can get one later.
Can Mike McCarthy get a little closer to the screen? Like he's only taking up like 40%.
He's drafting from his
It's not going to change, man.
Jerry's making the.
I gotta pee before they draft.
All right.
I do like the mention of Kenneth Murray here because I feel like they could probably use a little depth behind both Smith, and we don't know what's going on with Van Der Esch either. He's got the neck problem, and that could creep up, and who knows what's going to happen with him.
Yep.
Mike McCarthy sweats a lot.
Well, he's a big man.
I mean, I sweat a lot. He's
got the meat sweats. There's just
why is Jerry Jones in the spaceship?
He's scared of the Rona, so he's just like hovering above Earth.
Jerry Jones is the guy from Contact who kind of like left Earth and lived in the spacecraft by himself. Okay, guys.
Is my TV ahead of you guys? Because I saw it a few seconds ago.
No, I'm out of here. Bye. Are you kidding me right now? What is he doing?
Oh my God, this is Jerry Jones.
I mean, this is Cowboys, right? This is like spend a lot of money on Amari Cooper and then draft CeeDee Lamb.
But hold on. I mean, let's take some good out of this. Does this just not solidify Dak as potentially a top 3 guy if they're going to run a similar offense? Like we're going to look at him to even improve on what he's able to do because CeeDee Lamb is a huge upgrade over Randall Cobb. No offense to Cobb, he's on the latter part of his years and he's not the same guy anymore. So.
Nothing would be funnier than McCarthy running Randall Cobb out there instead of using CeeDee Lamb. All right, I'm gonna bring on another guest. He's in the queue. He's ready to go.
I'm gonna roll out.
All right, later, Shane. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah.
We got the rotation in full effect. What's up, Ty? How's it going?
What's going on, man?
Just waiting for our team to get on the clock here and hopefully draft our running back of the future.
That's right. We got 11 picks or so.
How does it feel? Like I feel like we should be making our second round pick by now.
Easily,
yeah. This is uncharted territory. I feel like we haven't had a pick this late since the early 90s or late 90s. I guess
feels like it. Yeah, I think you're right. CeeDee Lamb to Dallas, huh? That's gross.
Yeah, that's
it is gross.
Obviously, let's bring our other resident Cowboys fan back to the Dave. CeeDee Lamb is a Dallas Cowboy. How are we feeling?
I'm not feeling good.
Thank you.
But I called it. Did I not call it?
No,
Jerry's going to want to splash.
Yeah, no, this is we're playing in AT&T and we just hit one in the Bay. That was a splash hit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's Jerry all the way, and I knew he was going to do something stupid like that. And granted, he's a great player, but not what we need. But it's the flash and it's the flash and dash.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And anyone that thinks that there's another general manager in the room doesn't know a whole heck of a lot. So. He is entire, and the fact of the matter is he'll never die. So we're stuck with him for quite a while.
Or maybe this is just setting up for Lincoln Riley to take over. Maybe you guys will take Jalen Hurts and you'll send Dak on a weird way. And
No, I told you. He's Emperor Palpatine.
I'm gonna bring Ron back to the mix. Ron, welcome back.
I was wondering where Ron went.
Yeah, he went to
I'm
parts
back,
unknown for a little while, but he's back in full effect. I guess this means Christian Kirk is not going to Dallas.
Yes.
He went to the bathroom.
All I can say is I wish I had a bathroom in the basement, but I don't. So, when nature calls. But
you got a Gatorade
I'm sure
I got the Gatorade bottle.
Got a bottle here, man.
Did I miss something? Did I miss something big? I mean, was there a tight end drafted or another running back? Because that's all.
Well, no. Ron, trust me. If you said we missed anything big, we weren't referring to you.
Ron, I'm going to pass the baton to you, and I'm going to step out for a second, but I will be right back.
Oh, is he passing it over to me? Okay.
Yeah.
This is where we're at right now.
Well,
go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to say, what do you guys think the chances are that the Dolphins they go and they make a splasher and they take Judy? I mean, oh shit, Judy got drafted.
Judy's
Damn.
gone. Yeah.
Oh, that happens when you go in UP. I was going to say,
Dolphins. I love the Dolphins making a splash. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, like Denzel Mims, like a big possession receiver. Honestly, I think you're right, Brian. They need another receiver opposite Devontae Parker. And I mean, I think we can all agree Devontae Parker is not that good, but he was a target hog and he should have been in that offense last year. So again, you got to give him weapons. I think for Miami, they had 3 picks in the first round. I think you nail the first pick, you get to it.
Yes.
You got to hit these other 2 picks in the first round and make it worth your trouble, and you got to give him playmakers. So I think that one of those 3 picks has to be, to your point, Brian, a receiver, or it's got to be a running back. Jonathan Taylor, I'm talking to you. Seriously.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking, running back here.
I actually like them to take running back with their last pick at the 26th spot, because like we've all kind of alluded to, the running back position just isn't very valued, especially in this year's draft. So I think they could get either Swift or Taylor at the back end of this first round. And I love them taking Taylor there. I mean, they're kind of set up to be able to battle with Buffalo over the next couple of years, as they could kind of take place if Tua kind of progresses, he stays healthy. Like Brian Flores, he's got a good head on his shoulders, comes from that Belichick tree. He seems to kind of have it together more so than Patricia did. So
yeah,
I think Miami's definitely on the right path here to kind of compete in the division within the next year or two.
Yeah, quickly. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys still think the Patriots are the king
Oh, hell no.
of the division?
No.
No.
I mean,
No way.
I personally think Buffalo's going to win the East this year, but I wouldn't just hand it over to them. I mean, New England's still going to have an amazing defense. Belichick's going to devise some sort of offensive game plan where they use pretty much the entire clock. They're gonna keep the ball away from other teams, and they're gonna devise ways to stay in games and be able to make plays on special teams, or kind of make those turnover kind of things where they're scoring on defense again. So I wouldn't be so quick to just kind of hand the division over to Buffalo just yet.
They're going to play small ball, but the question still remains to be seen. Who's their quarterback, guys? That's
Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer, yeah.
No, guys, who's your quarterback? Seriously.
Who better to lead the offense?
It is.
Jameis Winston. Yeah.
I mean, if he wanted to take on a
The point is, guys, he's not on the roster yet. That's the point. So it's so hard for us to give that take because we don't really know who the engineer is.
You got Cam Newton, but I mean, these guys are. Brady was a Belichick guy. He was by the books, anybody that's available out there now is kind of a little loopy. So
Andy Dalton.
I don't know how Andy. Oh my God, Andy Dalton. You know what? That's not a bad call.
It really
I could
isn't,
see
yeah.
Andy Dalton in New England.
But to your point, Dave, like what's left, guys, and like you got to look at that, and then look at this rookie quarterback draft class. So the Patriots have some work to do. They need to fill in the blanks here. I want to see that before I can endorse them. I'm with Brian. I think that it's just not a hot take. The Bills are the best team in this division, like on both sides of football right now. Now, again, a lot can change, but the weapons that they've added, again, the Patriots have a lot of work to do. And I think in this division, they're going to be struggling to catch up and keep up pace with the Bills, given all the moves they made in the offseason.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, last year was the weakest Patriots team we've seen in a long time, and now they don't have Brady. So definitely rebuilding a little bit here.
Yeah, but I mean,
No
again,
Gronk either.
Right.
on the defensive side of the ball, though, they're still probably one of the top 5 best defenses in the NFL.
Sure. Yeah.
And if they're able to go out and get a guy who can distribute the ball without turning it over, they're going to be in a lot of games again. So
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Buffalo's got a good defense too, though. That's the thing.
yeah, they're going to have difficulty scoring because even Miami, with the addition of Byron Jones, their pass defense is going to be legit.
Oh yeah.
And just the fact that teams aren't going to fear the New England Patriots anymore, because I believe that was a major part of theirs. Like, oh, we're going to New England, and that would knock them back just a notch because of a fear factor. And now they're not going to have that anymore.
You're going to Foxborough, man. It's like it's a war, man. You're going to come out there with a lot of scrapes and cuts and bruises, but you're going to come out there probably as a loser.
With the 12-4 Jared Stidham led Patriots, get ready for it.
Man.
Offensive
Jared
tackle.
Stidham, the truth.
That's my point, Kyle. That's their guy. Seriously, that's their guy. Okay.
That's their guy.
Okay.
That is their guy.
All right, so the Dolphins are beefing up their O-line here for Tua.
Mm-hmm. It's smart. It's real smart.
Absolutely.
So Brian, you might be right. They might be saving that last pick in the first for a running back. I think there might be something there.
I like that.
I kind of projected Taylor like right there. I think he fits kind of what Flores. I just kind of see Flores as running a similar style as Belichick, where he wants to run the ball, more traditional style running. A guy who gets downhill really quick. I mean, we see Taylor. He toted the rock almost 300 times all 3 years he was at Wisconsin. Like, this guy can carry the load.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's a beast.
He's no J.K. Dobbins, but he's okay.
That's your guy, huh? So who's Vegas taking?
So what about CeeDee Lamb? I mean,
CD.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I don't get it either.
He's not my one-on-one anymore. I can tell you that. I just the volume and potential, unless because if they hadn't just re-signed Amari, it would make a lot more sense. But
yeah,
keeping Cooper, having Gallup, and then adding CeeDee Lamb, but I don't.
I think this does more detriment to Michael Gallup than it does anybody else, because we kind of saw him kind of take over almost as Dak's preferred guy down the field, and now you're going to have this rookie coming in who that's kind of his similar skill set. So I think it's going to take more targets away from Gallup than it does Cooper.
And the Blake Jarwin breakout, I think we're going to have to put on the back burner.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of 3 wide receivers.
Well, if you guys remember, they had Terrence
the draft board.
Terrence Williams played that role, kind of just take the top off the defense, and he wasn't even good. And I think that they kind of lacked that guy. They've lacked that guy for a while.
I like Terrence Williams.
He couldn't catch a beehive.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yes, he could.
But
he was a good run blocker.
All right, I hate you.
He was he was a body catcher. He was like Hot Hands in Little Giants.
He was a body catcher. There's no
right.
It was so frustrating.
It was great for best ball.
I just remember why, you talked about Jerry earlier in the show. getting his guy, quote unquote, in air quotes. And to me, like that's CD Lamb. Like he's watching. What's he watching, guys? He's watching the Big 12. He's watching Oklahoma. He's watching his guys Arkansas. He's watching the players on those particular teams.
I can guarantee you he's not watching the Arkansas team. That team is hot garbage.
Well, his
He's
grandson
trying to
plays
find somebody he
quarterback
likes
there,
there. Though,
I
Kyle,
think
my
they
point.
lost to an FCS team if I'm not mistaken. All right. So what fast receiver are they taking now?
Pretty much.
They got to go out and get some more defensive help. They got to try to
That's
figure out a way to replace Khalil Mack still.
Imagine
that
trading
take.
Khalil Mack. Imagine trading Khalil Mack.
Hey, they got a lot of pieces for that. I'm not going to knock them too bad. Like,
Yeah, but they've turned them into
But good ones.
second round pick players. They take over 5th overall.
You know what it kind of feels like to me, though? I'm with you, Brian, but I think defense is definitely like 100%. How about inside linebacker? Like they need a guy, take the best linebacker in this class. What's the kid from LSU? That guy is gonna be
Patrick
really
Queen.
good.
Patrick Queen.
Patrick Queen.
yeah, there's Patrick
Having-
Queen. There's Kenneth Murray, Chase on from LSU on the outside to kind of rush the quarterback. Like, there's a lot of options here for them.
Got to cover those Chiefs wide receivers.
Yep.
And my dark horse candidate would be T. Higgins, but everybody's saying I'm crazy. T. Higgins not a first rounder,
No,
but
T. Higgins around 2 would be
playmakers.
fantastic.
What the hell?
That is
I'm
a
still
sexy
waiting.
stadium.
I'm still waiting for Jalen Rager.
we're still waiting.
Damon Arnell, look, it's another Buckeye. All right.
on here.
OH.
Those Bucks, man. IO.
Did he get
That's
to
a
claim
workhorse
Burrow
here.
too, Brian? I seen that. I
Yes,
seen
he
that
did.
tweet.
What?
He did.
Where did he attend college in 2017? I'm curious.
I saw that. I was like, oh man,
If Wisconsin gets to claim Russell Wilson, we get to claim Joe Burrow. That's just
That's true.
facts.
that's true.
Hey,
I
let's
think-
stay in
I
the
think-
Big Ten here. I wanna make a comment. So if Ohio State's two cornerbacks are taken within the first 20 picks, what does that do for my Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Michigan's prospects as people start to look at the potential of this guy being a sneaky wide receiver in the middle of the draft, having to go up against these NFL-style corners?
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that is the one thing about like when I was going back watching some of this Big Ten tape, including your boy DVP, watching him go up against Okuda, watching him go up against Arnett, watching him go up against former guys that are now in the league. Like it's work, and you gotta put it in. And if these guys are considered among the best at the position, it's impressive to see some of the stuff they put together. Like T. Higgins, like Donovan Peoples-Jones, just watching. This pick is very Raiders. It's very like a guy who probably should go in round 2, going in round 1. I get cornerback isn't as deep as it probably should be, but even as an Ohio State fan, I scratch my head a little bit.
So where's Jacksonville going? Are they actually going to get rid of Fournette?
They're replacing Leonard Fournette right here.
Yeah, you think so?
Beep, 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 beep. There's a trade coming in. We're all waiting here.
Yep, I don't think so.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this has to
Philly,
be too early for a running back.
Yeah, and I don't think any actually go in round
What-
1. But
What
Philly's
about
on the
Jordan Love?
clock. What?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Jordan Love.
Yeah, good take here.
Or Jalen Hurts? Oh, they're
Philly's
showing
gotta
Shea.
go wide
Oh, look,
receiver.
Shea Patterson overthrew somebody. Oh, he got picked
Oh,
off.
God. I gotta go.
It's the
I gotta go
Jaguars.
freshen
You would
my
think
drink up.
defense, but I'd hope offense. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm going wide
honestly,
receiver.
The Jaguars are planning on 2021 and Jordan Herbert or what's his name? Trevor Lawrence. Why I
Trevor
combined
Lawrence,
Justin
Justin Fields.
I combined
Fields.
Jordan Love and Justin Herbert there. That was something.
Well, those guys are always going to be like
if you
intertwined
combine
together.
those two guys, you might have a first round quarterback.
Good point.
But Philly is on deck, and there's still some talented receivers. Justin Jefferson's out there. T. Higgins,
I'm going
Michael
wide
Pitt.
receiver here.
You think Jacksonville's taking a receiver?
Jefferson.
Oh man, really?
Yep.
Is it?
No, I'm
Is
going
it?
with Philadelphia taking a receiver.
No, Philly definitely should. And Justin Jefferson would be real nice there. T. Higgins would be real nice there. And then to come back around and get my boy KJ Hamler in like round 2 or 3. Be real nice.
I think Philly has to go get a guy who can create separation at the line of scrimmage and to be able to kind of take in those quick passes from
Jalen
Carson
Rager.
Wentz. Like, because he has the big guys. He's got Jeffrey. He has Arcega Whiteside. He needs kind of that little
Well,
shift.
I think a lot of it rides on Deshaun Jackson. To your point, you're exactly. If Deshaun Jackson, they believe in him still, then maybe they won't do that. But if they are planning for the future, you're exactly right. They should do that. They should get one of those receivers.
This is like dynasty, Ron. No one's relying on Deshaun Jackson.
I know it's not like
he's
it's like
done.
it's like what you would do versus what they're gonna do.
Where are you guys at with Jalen Rager? Because this is a guy I was completely out on, and then I went back and watched some of the 2018 tape, and now I'm back in on him.
Yeah, I like Rager.
I think he looks pretty good from
Yeah.
what I've seen.
He is explosive.
I'm a fan. I don't think he's going to be spectacular.
I think he's a little overrated, but I like from the slot perspective, like
That's
what
it.
he can do. That's the role he can fill at the next level. And I think that if he goes the right, has the right scheme and they put him in that position, then I think he will be successful. But I think if you're asking him to do more than that, early on, it's going to be kind of a stretch for him. It may be that's a little bit of that bias with what we've seen from these receivers coming out of TCU, not really at the next level, performing at that level that we thought they
This
would.
isn't Josh Doxson 2.0. I'll tell you though.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
You know,
different-
you know,
yeah, 'cause
you
they're
know who
different
might
guys.
be. You know who might be Josh Doxson 2.0? A guy from the same state, just down the road, out in Waco. His name's Denzel Mims.
Denzel Mims.
No,
Really?
I think he's a little Josh Doxson, a
No.
little too much hype off it, or maybe he'll be like one of these guys that draft Twitter just loves, and
I
then
can
ends up
see
going
it.
in
You
at
know
round
what?
6.
See, this is why Kyle should have been at Senior Bowl, Dave. Come on, pound the drum for Denzel Mims. The last day of practice in those end zone drills, that guy was a man among boys. I mean,
Was he a glue
dude.
guy or
Wow.
was he a team leader?
Was he a hard
Kyle,
worker?
I was right there with you. I wasn't believing until last day of practice, and then he really put on a show. For me, Dave, we were up close and personal. Just the catches and just how he contorts his body and what he does with that frame, that gets me excited. And I think for these NFL, front offices, they got to look at that and say, he was good in college, but I think he can be a lot better at the next level if you utilize him in that role. Brian was talking about Alshon Jeffrey. I think this is a red zone possession receiver that can score points for you. Why wouldn't you want to take him?
Because they have to get to the red zone first.
That's true.
Good point.
Very true. Yeah.
That helps.
Somebody's got to do the heavy lifting to get him there, right?
All right. Let's see what Jacksonville's doing.
I mean,
Nothing.
so far, guys, the draft has gone pretty much like to script. Like we haven't seen moves. We haven't seen anything surprising. Like we heard people saying, like we're definitely seeing more conservative approach with kind of the lack of like face-to-face meetings. I think that's been
Hashtag
kind of a result.
predictable.
It's like a lot like our fantasy drafts where like people are afraid to get shown up, so they're just not making moves at all.
It does seem like that. Yeah. People are afraid.
Sometimes the best trade you make is a trade you don't make.
I think
By the
John
way, I do have a
Robinson should be on the phone. Lay it on us, Dave.
I do
What
have
do you
a
got?
question, guys. Are we doing this again tomorrow?
I have nothing
Are we
to
doing
do.
this again tomorrow?
I have nothing to do and nowhere to go.
that was his question. I'm like,
Me, same here.
there was a lot of quiet.
Oh, there we go.
I'll have the live
Silence.
stream going, Dave. Feel
Yeah,
free to hop
hold
on and
quiet.
and chat. I have nowhere to go. I have nothing to do. I'll be here.
So I think
You
the
will
Jaguars.
leave these guys. Same here.
Yeah,
I would-
I'll cast my lure. I'll bring some fish in. We'll get it going.
We'll get it going. All right, guys. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's
No,
good.
no.
Bring it. This isn't like the shot cast where I drink too much and then can't do it the next day. So
Yeah, that's where I just left. Came over here now. I'm a little quiet.
how was that? How was that?
Ty, you are a trooper, man.
It was good. There's
wild as
alcohol
usual?
over there. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I heard. Yeah, those.
Okay, the hell with football, Ty. I want to know what your choice drink is here, man. Like, I missed your show, man. Like,
Shinerbach.
Oh,
Dude, he's ready.
now we're talking.
Shinerbach.
oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I love it.
Did you bring a case of that with you from
Shiner
St.
box.
Louis?
Hey, no, man. We got some at Total Wine. I mean, come
There
on.
you go.
That's all I
There you
need.
go.
Okay, Ty. Next time I'm in St.
Yeah,
Louis,
I
can
get
I
it
sleep
in
on your couch,
Texas.
man, and have some
No.
of that?
Ty doesn't live in St. Louis anymore.
Not
Ron.
anymore.
Ty lives down the street
Oh.
from me, Ron.
I live like 6 miles from Kyle now.
It shows how out of touch with reality I am, Ty. My
No,
apologies.
I'm off
So-
everything. So
Yeah, he's. That's
It's
what
called
happened.
having a kid, man, and you just kind of forget about everything else.
well, congratulations.
He's no longer on Twitter, so we don't know where he lives anymore unless I just happen to know because I can see his house from here.
If that is true, I am so envious you were off of Twitter.
Yeah, I
It's-
spend most of my time just on Instagram.
Oh my god.
But Ty, you're still
And we do
jamming
all
out, right?
follow each other, right?
Yes. Yeah. What's that?
See,
Dave?
that's what really matters. You're still doing what you really love to do. Hell yeah, man.
Yep. Yep.
Ron never shuts
Yeah,
the hell up.
Ty's-
So it's like, I mean,
Yeah, that's kind of his MO.
Hey, do what you love to do, man. Do it well. That's what it's all about.
The Jags are building a nice little
I
defense
can't
here,
because
Kyle.
you-
CJ Henderson,
Yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
Jason.
I like it, especially
Chase,
if
I like that pick.
yeah, especially if Ngakwe is going to be gone. I mean, that whole situation.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, do you think that's kind of like the marker on the wall that an Ngakoue deal is kind of more likely now?
Yeah, I think so. And then you pair Chase on with Josh Allen, you got two really young good ends. And if Ngakwe doesn't sound like he wants to be there, so
Well,
He's
we got room for him up in Nashville. We
Yeah.
can line him up.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
Hey,
Vito.
we'll take him. We'll take him in Chicago too, but we got to wait a long time.
You got a lot of room up there.
Yeah, I would have liked Dallas to take that 17th pick and kind of package that with something and get Ngakoue. Like, there was no need for Jerry to take another wide receiver there. Like,
yeah. I thought Ngakwe had a good chance to end up in Dallas, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm
it
going
would
to
have been
stop you
perfect
right now. I'm
replacement
going to
for
stop you,
Robert
Brian.
Quinn.
I think so.
He is
Absolutely.
Brian. He is not just another receiver, man. I'm telling you, you're going to love the
Yeah.
pick. You're going to love
Yeah,
it.
I understand that, but how many times can we be burnt by Aaron Rodgers coming back in the fourth quarter with 3
Yeah.
minutes to go because our defense can't make the stop when it matters?
Hey, but
Before-
maybe if
before
you
they
even,
re-
but maybe
Before
that's
they
the,
realize that they
Brian,
need
that's the
defensive
plan.
players.
maybe they're like
Brian, what
we'll
we're trying to do is be the Indianapolis Colts
they'll
back in
they're
Love
trying to
State.
kiss the city.
Just put up. Can we score more points than you? Our defense is not as good, but it has improved. Again, I think they're the type of team they can roll up some points, man. Look at the offense. Oh my God. I mean, it's pretty sexy, man. I mean,
Yeah,
even-
but I mean,
even-
like, admittedly, I was like,
You got to stop somebody.
yeah. So when I was first watching football, it was like right at the end of the Cowboys dynasty. So I jumped on the wagon really early. But I've seen it over the last 2 decades of these games where they're coming down to it. Like, they got these leads and they just can't make a stop when it matters. I mean, Aaron Rodgers completing on 3rd and 20. I mean,
I think
how do you?
I think we figured out the Cowboys' problem.
Yes, yeah.
Brian-
I love Brian.
Brian's
I
a
love
fan.
Brian.
Brian hops on and the bandwagon and the Cowboys derail. He's a Michigan fan. That doesn't go well. Like, it all makes sense.
See, I love Brian. I just gotta let the Michigan thing go. Like, I'm trying to let that go because Brian has been spot on tonight so far. So
It's okay.
I'm doing my best, Brian.
I hope
Hey, go blue.
I can-
That's right. Go blue.
Let's go
If I can
blue.
host a podcast with them, you can join in the live stream.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
Kyle and I are going to go at Brian come Thanksgiving of this year. Ohio State.
I let my team do
Michigan.
the work for me. They take care of it every year. I'm not worried about that matchup.
So
I'm
Jalen
worried about-
Reagor, man. Woo.
Jalen Reagor here.
I
pick?
think so. I mean, they just showed Justin Jefferson on the phone.
Jim, I think it might be the pick, Jim.
I don't really see
about
Jefferson
some Denzel
like, being a
Mims?
guy for Philly.
How about Denzel?
I
Mims?
like where you're going with this. I think receiver. We've all agreed receiver
This has to be
position. They
receiver.
need.
This has to be.
It has to be.
If he goes right now, Rager.
Hold on, guys.
What
if
where does he
Peterson,
go
like,
in Dynasty draft?
No. I think Ty's onto something. So
yeah, I think that's a good question.
if this is Jalen Rager,
He's already going the back end of the first, guys.
Is
in the
he
draft time.
above? Is he above CeeDee Lamb? Is he above?
No,
Henry
no.
Ruggs?
Lamb's like 6th, 7th overall.
No. I know right now, but we're landing spots.
Yeah,
We got-
I mean,
We got
got-
Lamb
He's
as the
top
third-
4.
CeeDee Lamb is going to be the 4th option in the Cowboys offense, maybe even the 5th with Dak getting more of the RPO stuff. Whereas Jalen Rager, he's going to be kind of that short yardage, like number 1 target on the outside for Philly if he was to go to the Eagles here with only Ertz and Goddard taking targets.
What do we got here? What do we
I'm
got?
just
What do
way
we
ahead of
got?
you guys on the.
Yeah,
Oh!
we're all streaming. So
Somebody's
it's
got a
little
better
bit
connection speed than we do.
What do we got? What do we got? I'm still waiting for the selection.
Right
Give
here.
it to me, Raj.
That's all I'm watching.
Give it to me, Roger. Jalen Rager, let's go.
Good call.
Damn, boom!
Well
Yo.
done, man.
Like a boom.
I think that's a great spot for him.
So, do you think he's top 5 in dynasty picks now?
I think he's a top 3 fantasy receiver in rookie drafts, and probably top. Man,
So you think
Are we
Lamb? Or you're saying Lamb, Judy, and then Rager?
I mean, we talking standard. Or we're talking super flex.
Yeah, I was-
Standard. I think the
no,
first
we're-
3
we're
picks should be running back.
Standard
guys.
PPR. Yeah.
let's just do PPR. Let's not include super flex because it's going to get things all wonky.
And we're talking full PPR.
Sure.
Yeah, full.
Oh, I would probably lean Rager over CeeDee Lamb because like we were saying, CeeDee Lamb is probably going to be kind of the top taker offer. So he's going to be the more of that, like he's getting 5, 6 targets, maybe a game.
Maybe Amari Cooper becomes the top taker offer and CeeDee Lamb takes over in 2 years.
No way. Amari Cooper has elite route running skills. Like he's the guy that you're looking for, and when you need first downs, not.
Well, that's what Judy has. I think what Rieger brings is obviously that slot. You know, like he can own that slot. He can be that guy. Like Brian, you were talking earlier about the Eagles needing that take the top off the defense guy. Well, if they believe Jackson still has another year, maybe 2 left in the tank, making this pick, getting your slot guy, maybe you still believe in Alshon Jeffrey just in the short term. Then just give him another weapon, another tool in that toolbox. I think for Wentz, I like the pick, but I will say this: I think that Rieger's career is going to like mirror more like Jarvis Landry, where we're all like a lot of people are going to be like shortchanging him, and in reality, he's going to be a better football player than we view him in fantasy, and I think that's where Rieger's going to be like more like a Landry guy. But I love Landry.
I think I'd take Lamb in a dynasty draft. I think I'd take Rieger in a regular like a season long draft. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I think Jalen Rager is more impactful this year and maybe even next year. But I think over the span of their career, I still think CeeDee Lamb's a stud, and I think I'm gonna get a discount on CeeDee Lamb just because of the landing spot, assuming there's too many mouths to feed and it's not going to be that good for him. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I still like to go talent over opportunity in dynasty. It eventually wins out.
I mean, hot take real quick, Kyle. I'm with you. I'm actually taking Lamb over Rieger after landing spots, and we're probably in the minority here, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What say you guys?
So what about Jefferson to Minnesota then?
I think makes a ton of sense. You ship out stuff on Diggs. You have an aging Adam Thielen. You need receiver help. You're also dealing with Kirk Cousins, so we'll see how that goes. But
I don't think they're done either, guys. I think they got to add another receiver in this
for sure
class. I mean, you can't replace Diggs, but you can definitely take some shots here and try and put the pieces together.
I think we're going to see a lot more of Irv Smith this next year.
Yeah, really like Irv.
Yeah,
they could trade for Corey Davis, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean they could have him for a song and a sandwich, but
right,
man, you already sold out on Corey Davis.
I don't want
Giving
to
up
believe
on him.
he's dead, but it looks pretty rough right now.
But it's if you've seen the meme with the guys dancing with the casket, I just want to put a picture of Corey Davis and then
Guys, he ain't dead yet, but he's pretty damn close. We're
Yeah.
checking the pulse right now.
Pick is in. Gotta wait 5 minutes still.
Yeah. What did you guys think about Cincinnati's pick taking they took over half of the clock for the pick to get in when they had known the pick for like 3 days?
I think it was a technical difficulty.
I think they
There
were
you
just
go.
debating between Herbert and Burrow.
I think it's the Bengals, and they're always going to end up swinging and missing, picking the wrong guy. So
Oh,
they were
man.
just overthinking picking the wrong guy. Should have been Tua. Hot take. Yeah, boo me now, guys. Boo me now. I expected it.
I could kind of get on the bus with that take. I think over the long haul, I think Tua might wind up being the better quarterback. But I think for like the immediate future, I think Burrow is actually going to be a decent fantasy option too. They have some good weapons there in Cincinnati. It's just going to be whether or not they can protect Burrow.
Brian, question: better in real life football or better in fantasy football?
I probably like Tua a little bit more.
Because I think my answer is different on both sides. But go ahead.
I think Tua's ball placement is like pristine. I do have a little bit of concern about his throwing motion. He seems to kind of slingshot it a little bit. So I don't know. He doesn't have like that traditional like over top or like shoulder rotation. It's more like from here. So I think that could come into play because he's a little bit of a shorter dude. But I like Tua as a better NFL quarterback in the future.
Definitely had some predetermined read issues where this is the guy I'm throwing to, and part of that is having all the studs he has. But like, there is a lot of I'm going to throw it to here no matter what happens once I hike the ball, and a lot of times it worked out, and sometimes like against Clemson in the national championship 2 years ago, it didn't work out so well.
No.
All right. Oh, Dave. Sorry, Dave. You're
But
back.
Kyle,
in.
that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, you had a bad day at the office. We've all been there. It's just the worst day of your life. I think when players have those games, like, you got to look at the whole body of work. Like, if you're watching their tape, which we all are, like, that's what really matters, man. It's not what they did on their 40 time at the combine. Like, really,
I don't care about
like,
that.
Yeah,
I don't put
look at the
any
big
stock.
picture, not just one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the underwear Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dave's favorite part of Senior Bowl. Actually, where's Shane at? Because that would be his joke, right, Dave?
Oh,
Back when he was going.
what a treat that was.
I'm upset that I missed Shane, but then I got Ty, so like I feel like we're good.
Oh my God, he's the one that originated that. Yeah, where did Shane go?
Yeah,
look
he-
at-
Ty, that's a
great.
compliment,
There's
Ty.
No doubt about
I
that.
appreciate that.
But
Yeah.
having-
I wasn't sure I'd take that,
No, I just
Yeah.
want to just correct myself here.
Ty's like, I can leave too if you want.
I mean, what? I actually
No,
didn't
He
really-
better not, man.
No, dude. Your podcast was like
Interact-
one of my personal favorites, honestly.
lively
like, just listening. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah.
And you got that radio voice, man. It's like, damn, dude. Keep talking, Ty. Keep talking.
So who are the Vikings going to take here?
Has
It's got to be
receive.
Jefferson. The New
Not T.
England.
Higgins. It's not round 2 receiver T. Higgins. I can tell you that.
Is it unanimous here, guys?
Yeah.
Dave. Is it Jefferson, Dave?
That means we'll be wrong.
Yep.
I know. I did. I already said
It'll
it.
probably be defense.
And that means we're all going to be wrong. Exactly.
You know what?
I love it that I already know.
yeah.
Oh, he does.
No, bro.
Kyle's
We're all
over here
sitting-
living in the future.
sitting
Yeah,
on
I'm sitting there watching this.
Yeah, right?
What is Brian asleep?
I'm watching highlights of the guy they picked right now.
All right.
Yeah, I just got the
It's
picture.
not even
But-
fair, guy.
Where
But the
we at
most
with-
important,
Brian is asleep.
You really can use that to your advantage here. Like, it just take us all to, to the cleaners. But
okay, so I was going to ask the most important question was what were the Patriots going to do, but it seems like the Patriots just traded their pick to the
Yep.
Chargers.
Just traded.
So what are the Chargers going to do here at 23?
Oh, guys.
Jordan
Why
Love.
are they taking no. Are they jumping in to take another with Wisconsin running back and Jonathan Taylor to pit him with Austin Eckler? Because this is kind of that range that I had mentioned.
Could you
Oh
imagine?
man,
I say no,
Ooh.
but that's not a terrible take.
That's my guy, man.
The only thing I
You know
can be
that,
sure of
Brian.
is that someone's going to trade up to get
About
Taylor.
Taylor.
They have to.
I've been
I mean, seriously.
talking about Taylor.
I feel like most of the first round offensive linemen are gone. I think Justin Jefferson was kind of the bottom of the tier of receivers. I mean,
I said the running back.
I mean, here's the thing, Kyle. How many first grades they give for the receivers? I think there was like 6 or 7 receivers
Yeah, I
that
think
had
there was.
first round
I think there
draft
was
grades.
7.
Yeah. So, like, realistically, can we expect 7 receivers going in the first round? No, but wow, there's a lot. I mean, it's getting.
yeah.
What
where
number are we
at?
at, guys?
Count. Let me see.
4, 5.
so 1, 2. Jefferson is 3. Rager's 4.
Yeah, 5.
5.
5. Yeah.
Ruggs, Judy.
Let's go for the
Lamb.
6-pack, guys.
Well, the over under was 5.5, so we're
Yeah.
right on the mark.
So
Yeah.
I also too. This is just Bill Belichick once again stockpiling more picks.
Well, he's got to rebuild now that Brady's gone.
Well, I mean, they already had 12
Exactly.
selections in this year's draft, so I mean, I'm interested to see what they got
They
here.
got to make sure they can have the assets to go get Trevor Lawrence next year.
Yeah.
hey fellas, I'm
I
gonna
think
hop.
you guys
I'm gonna hop
Okay.
out.
underestimating the fact of what Gronk did.
Rock
with
out,
them.
Ty. Good seeing you, brother.
All right, buddies.
Wait,
Thanks for
man.
joining us.
Again.
Whee! And we out.
Oh man, you leaving? I guess so.
Yes.
We
Quick.
got the rotation going.
So, anyways,
Spielman's
I was
happy.
just going back to say is going to be against the Patriots.
I think that's what we're kind of all waiting for, guys. Is we've been talking about it all night. The Patriots rebuilding process, and like this first round pick for them means so much because it's going to kind of show their hand in what direction. We know what direction they're going, but is it going to be quarterback?
So they
No,
got.
but I'm kind of fast forwarding because that's the pick I think we're all waiting.
Wow.
This has got to be Shea Patterson, right?
Oh my God. He's gonna be the holder.
Hey, second and third for 23. What they better be giving up something. That like who are they coming up for? I gotta look up Shane's big board to get a name.
I don't even
It's
know.
got to be. I mean, the Chargers are set on defense, and their other like glaring need was offensive linemen, and all those top guys are gone. So honestly, I could legitimately see them jumping in here to take Swift or Taylor, because
The problem is,
I mean,
Brian, you're exactly right. That's what makes sense, but that's not what they're going to do, and that's the problem. It's like
what about
we would do?
Cesar Ruiz?
Yeah,
No, but exactly. You're
That's a
right,
good
Brian.
point.
Like that's what they should do, but they're not going to do it because it never works that way.
I mean,
And the pick is?
if Dean Spanos had any sort of smarts, which people down here in San Diego know that he's like probably the biggest idiot in the world, he would let Anthony Lynn kind of take the reins on this draft, and they probably would lean with Ruiz taking the best center in the draft and kind of solidifying that offensive line to kind of protect Herbert after they pick who could be their franchise quarterback.
Well,
You're exactly right. Why were they so bad last year, guys? Because that offensive line was injured, hurt. Everyone like suffered because of that. Philip Rivers, the whole offense. You're right, Brian. Like they need offensive line help. That's the number one.
I think
need.
Yuta Gross-Matos and
Penn State, right?
yeah, and there's another
Yeah.
the guy from Iowa. I'm blanking. I just saw his name.
Epineza?
Espinoza.
Yeah, AJ Epinesa. Because I think there's a legit chance that Joey Bosa leaves next year.
Yeah, I think that's likely to happen.
So?
Wow.
And the pick
It's a hot take.
Ooh.
So I don't really understand what the Chargers just did here.
Wow.
What did they do?
Well, I'm still in a delay, so I have no idea
You'll
what
see it.
they did.
You'll see
I'm
it.
living. Oh, Kenneth Murray. Okay.
Wow.
Well, they were reaching for Thomas Davis last year, so they obviously need linebacker help.
See, we need an IDP take right here.
Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah.
The guy for the job here.
Yeah, well, the Chargers have like one of the most frustrating rotations linebackers in all of IDP. So, but obviously they must really like Murray. So they signed Nick Vigil to a 1-year deal. They had Drew Tranquil from last year, Denzel Perryman, whatever. But Murray, he'll be their guy, man. They moved up to get him. He can do it all. He's big, he's fast.
With Tyrod or a rookie quarterback, he'll be on the field a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. The thing with Murray too is he brings it as a blitzer. You can put him on the edge and send him up the middle. He's big and fast, and he can cover.
I think the knock on him was coverage. I mean, you say he can't cover, but I think that was the one thing. If you're going to sit here and nitpick, but you're exactly right. He's good in all the other phases, and I think it's a good pick for them.
I do
because they need to fill that void, and this is a guy that could be big time for them in the middle of that, be the quarterback of their defense, which they need and lack.
Yeah,
I like it. I can get on board because you know what? They can still get a running back in the 3rd, 4th round that we can get excited and on board about. So
yes, absolutely. And, Murray's a run and chase guy too, so you can just let him roam.
Hey guys, just want to step in here. I got to rock out, and I love all you guys.
Dave's got a hot date. It's okay.
I just want to say goodbye and stay safe, and let's do this again.
Yeah, definitely. Bye, Dave. Take care.
See you, Dave.
Yeah, actually,
Bye,
my
Dave.
phone is blowing up, so I gotta.
What's she look like, Dave?
I gotta
send pictures. Send pictures.
Let's just to stay on the Chargers real quick. I did want to kind of go off of what Kyle was talking about. I think Kenneth Murray, he's going to fit perfect with their kind of defense that they like to run. Their biggest issues on defense was stopping the running game. They were getting gashed, huge gains, giving up 6 yards per carry. I think with Bosa and Ingram on the outside, like you kind of said, if they kind of put him on the outside of either one of those guys, offensive lines are going to have to decide, are they going to block Bosa or Ingram or take on Murray as that 5th rusher? And in an IDP perspective, he could lead the team in tackles instantly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And in that division, you have a lot of good running backs, to your point, Brian, that are going to be running that rock. And you look at Denver when they match up with them two games out of the season. I mean, you're going to have Gordon and Lindsey.
And Gordon.
Yeah. Again, I mean.
Yeah, I think Murray could have a big rookie year for IDP. I really do. It's a good spot for him.
Yeah, I mean,
is he your linebacker 1 though right now? Just being a little ahead here in Dynasty, your linebacker 1 rookie.
Simmons was my LB1, and I actually had Queen 2 and Murray 3. But we'll see what kind of position designation that Simmons.
And Queen's still out there, so that's the guy. Yeah, I thought he would be gone by now.
So did I.
Exactly right.
Yeah. No, I thought he'd be gone too.
He was your number 2 guy.
Yep, I had Queen. It was really close. I had Simmons in a tier by himself, and then I had Queen and Murray together, and it was super close.
Going back to Simmons real quick, the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, they have Joseph, right? The guy who was he was the head coach in Denver.
Vance Joseph.
Vance Joseph. He's your DC, right? And he's pretty heavy on the blitz aspect of defense, correct?
Right.
So I mean, Simmons.
That's where he excels. He's not a good head coach. That's the record.
So if they want to run Simmons as kind of that rogue, kind of more towards the box, like Roy Williams style safety, where he kind of either drops back or just comes in on run support. I think he's
like a Matthew clone, but I think he could be better than that because he's more athletic, I think, than Matthew in his heyday.
A little bit bigger too.
He's big.
And that's scary, guys. If you think about it.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's really
like the ceiling on Simmons. We have no idea where the ceiling is because maybe the floor is not as high, but the ceiling. Think about that.
Ceiling is the roof. That's what they say.
No, Kyle, the roof is on fire. No, it's not yet. Hopefully.
Hey, don't make fun of the real GOAT, okay?
Oh God,
I'm so excited for Sunday already.
Oh, dude, I had to. I had to refrain from watching the second episode on Sunday.
Did y'all watch the Jordan doc yet?
I watched it twice.
2 times.
So good.
I didn't fit in my old Jordan jerseys though, so
I got a White Sox one I was rocking on Sunday.
All right.
You're the guy out there double fisting, Okay. Can't be satisfied. You gotta have 2,
Oh man, what are the Saints gonna do? Could the
I
Saints take Jordan Love here?
I think the Saints could take Queen.
That would be
I could see that.
a legit.
I think the Saints got to be really pissed off right now because Rieger would have made a ton of sense for
Yep.
them. Jefferson, keep him in the state. Like, there's a lot of receivers, I think, at this point where the Saints can definitely add defensive help, but at the same time, like, who do they have outside of Michael Thomas when you think about it? Even the tight end position.
Well,
Jared
they just signed
Cook's
Emmanuel Sanders.
Okay, we're expecting him to be healthy all year, though.
Oh yeah,
Just saying.
Well, he's not going to
Okay.
play a lead. He's not going to be like the lead dog on the outside.
he's a perfect complement to Michael Thomas.
No, he's a great compliment, but I'm saying get another big dog opposite Thomas, and then with Sanders, that makes him even more valuable and a bigger weapon for them over the middle between the hashes.
This could be a trade back scenario too, because the Saints have a first, a third, a fourth. So like if they want, it's not like they need to go get whatever they want here, or
It's
potentially
whatever
trade
Sean
back.
Payton wants, Kyle.
Well, it worked pretty well last year. I
Yeah.
think there's a non-zero chance that they take a quarterback here. Packers did it with Aaron Rodgers. This is about where you guys took Rodgers, right, Kyle?
Yep. Yeah. Right around here. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I've seen a few mocks with them getting Jordan Love right here as well.
Jordan Love right here.
And with Drew Brees, he's already signed his deal with NBC or something to go take over for Collinsworth in a year or two. So, the writing's already on the wall. I think.
Like
think that
a Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers type of handover here,
But I think it might be a little smoother, a little cleaner. Not so much like I'm retiring, I'm not retiring, I'm retiring, but I'm not retiring. But then I'm retiring.
I'm gonna give you guys my take on Jordan. Like Love, I was there the last day of practice, and he was. The thing about it was, I was standing there talking to Katie from under the helmet, and like she was making a lot of great points about Love's footwork, and it's all mechanics because this guy can be really, really good at the next level, but he needs to clean all that stuff up. But he relies on his arm too much, and in practice we saw it time and time again where he would make that throw, but it was all arm, and it's like the footwork, the mechanics that can be taught, that can be under the right tutelage, under the right coaching staff, like he can be really good. But there's a lot of risk with Love. But this is the perfect time to take Love at the end of the first. Trade up to get him. But for the Saints,
really a big difference between him and whoever else, the other quarterbacks in this class, Jalen Hurts, or somebody they're going to be able to get in round 3, Anthony Gordon. The Vikings.
I don't know. For my money, give me Love over Hurts.
Told you.
Just
Vikings traded up, right?
No, I think they're still announcing the pick. They took Cesar Ruiz, New Orleans.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
I think
so maybe Love in the
that
first
makes
round doesn't happen.
I was going to say, I think this makes it more likely that Kansas City goes with a lot of what the original mocks were saying, and they take a running back at 32 because this was the other guy they had them
J.K. Dobbins,
slotted to
baby.
get.
Yeah, they still need an edge rusher. They still need, but like to your point, they're in a great spot where they can be they can take their
Risky.
favorite instead of taking the last of whatever tier.
You're the Super Bowl champ. You could swing and miss, and you'll still probably be, right up there in Super Bowl contention again. So you're exactly right, Kyle. You're in a position where you've already proved it. You're the best of the best. So, hey, if this is the guy you think might give you an opportunity, honestly, I think that running back makes the most sense. But the secondary, last year, who they add? Their one safety they added. He was a good pick for them. But they do need some help. You said edge rushing. Justin Houston, he's gone.
Let's talk about the running back because I think it's interesting. There's a lot of Damian Williams is there, so DeAndre Swift would be a nice compliment. But I don't know. They've consistently shown over the past couple seasons that they're willing to, that they don't really trust him, that they want to move on, that they want to look for other options. They brought in LaShawn McCoy. I think Taylor's an option. I think my boy J.K. Dobbins is an option. I honestly think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is an option. I wouldn't be
the best pass catching running back out of that bunch. You're exactly right.
He's a good safety.
And he's got a lot of marking to his running game. So he's a Mark Ingram that catches the ball better. It's pretty impressive. You guys are both Michigan guys. Did you enjoy the Cesar Ruiz experience?
I mean, you don't get to see much from those guys, and the fact that we haven't beaten Ohio State in God knows however now 8 years, I don't even really pay attention to their games until that last Saturday.
What really matters, yeah.
I was starting to think we were a basketball school anyway.
Hey, we are a basketball school.
Right?
Yeah, I just with Michigan, like I have a couple friends that I work with and a couple customers that come into our grocery store that are from Ohio State, and we have these discussions a lot. And
Are they heated? Do you guys need boxing gloves or no?
No. They're all friendly.
Like
And
wings from across the deli counter.
no, but we are yelling across the aisles. But in all seriousness, as a Michigan fan, I might be in the minority with this take here, but I would prefer to have a guy like Brady Hoke, who's bringing in players with lesser status and lesser caliber recruits who are going to play harder. They're going to play the Michigan way, rather than us getting all these 5-star guys who are just looking towards their NFL future. And
But if you're winning 10 or 11 games instead of 8 or 9 games, isn't that better?
No, what's the difference? The whole reason why you play at Michigan or you play at Ohio State is to beat Michigan or beat Ohio State.
Exactly.
Like
The Niners are on the clock.
the season is not the season if you lose that game.
Brian, you're exactly right. Those are the best weekends of my life, being there in Columbus to watch Michigan come into town and everyone just go crazy. Watch the cars get flipped over. Watch the couches be burned. I'm telling you, that's the college experience. That is exactly in a nutshell what you kind of summed up, and I'm giving like the crazy version, but that's exactly how it is. And when we go into the big house and play on your guys' turf, it's the same thing, man. Like, I'm sure Ann Arbor is going crazy, and they're like, we're ready for these Ohio State fans. Bring them on. It's a great rivalry.
Yeah, I've been to one Michigan-Ohio State game, and it happened to be in Columbus. And getting to experience that town during like the last couple days leading up to the game was something. Walking around in Michigan stuff, like it was a lot of friendly jabs, but seeing all the M's crossed out on campus, like that's just cool stuff to see.
So the Niners moved up from 31, gave up 117 and 176 to get to this pick. I'm really curious who it's.
Oh my God, what are they doing? Running back, guys, would they do that? Would they take a running back?
No way.
Oh, it's Kyle Shanahan, guys.
It's going to be.
I just woke up here. I woke up. That Kyle woke me up with that straight.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk.
I think Michael Pittman makes sense.
I'm going to say Antoine Winfield.
I'm going to say, you know what? Denzel Mims, baby. I'm buying the hype. John Lynch was his Senior Bowl.
Can Winfield play corner, or is he a safety, or is he a combo? What is he at? Because I know he plays safety mostly in Minnesota.
Yeah, he plays all. He's kind of like the Honey Badger. That's why I compare him to.
Okay.
He's a ball hawk. He had like 7 picks this year, and he's
the Niners definitely need secondary help. They have obviously an aging Sherman.
Hey, Lynch could trade this pick. He's on the phone right now, guys. He could trade the pick because it's Lynch.
Oh, wow.
Just saying.
I would be shocked after what they gave up to get.
Just the look in his eye right now, it looks like he's thinking about 3 different guys.
Yeah.
I hate this delay, guys. And drum roll, please. You guys already know. Nice. Damn. I'm impressed. Good call.
Okay, and then here's Jonathan Taylor right here from Miami at 26.
Nah.
Yeah, it's got they're gonna run out Patrick Laird again. In Laird we trust. Like
the fact that Taylor's still here and available, I think it's a slam dunk. I'm with Brian. Like if you don't take Jonathan Taylor, there's something. Yeah, like
I
you don't know.
I think it just kind of shows the evolution of the NFL. Like, I mean, we're looking at a decade ago, and teams are building their teams around the running back and keeping the ball on the ground. And now everything is predicated on spreading the teams out, throwing the ball. It's all about how many passes you could throw in a game. I think Miami is still kind of in that traditional style, like more towards New England, where they want to be able to run the ball on you.
I mean, the thing about it is like you have a need, and it's a glaring need. You need to address that need. And you have two really big time name running back. I mean, you go Swift, a lot of people's number one running back on the board, and you go Taylor. I mean, for me, it's a pretty much no brainer. You need to address that position. Like, what other position are they going to go, guys? Like, at this point, 3 picks in the first round. Who was their second pick? Somebody refresh
They
my
took a
memory.
tackle. They took an offensive tackle. Yeah,
Protect
Austin
Tua.
Jackson.
So what's the last missing piece here? Run the freaking ball. Like, get a guy who can do that for him.
For sure.
Round 3, or round 4, or round 5, or round.
They could, Kyle, but they're not going to get Jonathan Taylor or Swift in third round. I mean,
Hey,
Yep, they're not.
I mean-
they're not getting Jonathan Taylor Swift. I can tell you that.
they
no way.
they still have Caleb Balaj.
Oh man.
We're still
Oh
trying to-
my God! I'm gonna go throw up real quick. I'll be right back. My dinner's coming up early.
I love that
Oh,
clip
man.
when he ducks out of the way of that swing pass.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
is that gold, man? I
Man.
can't stop watching that.
The worst
What?
Senior Bowl interview ever was Kalen Balaj, man.
Really?
And if you don't believe me, ask Chris Danicki, and formerly he's still with Fake Pigskin. It's like we interviewed Balaj, and it was just like so awkward. He was just like he wouldn't answer the questions, and I'm like, I went away, like walked away, and I'm like, yeah, it was not a good interview. This guy, well, I mean, Chris kind of led with we're from FakePigskin.com, a fantasy dynasty site. And I'm like, no, don't do that.
What are you looking at for the Packers coming up here, Kyle?
Well, all the wide receivers are going. That's kind of
Denzel Mims.
right. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep saying his name, guys, until it actually happens.
Honestly, I would really, if Queen's there, I wouldn't mind seeing him take Patrick Queen.
Because Blake Martinez is gone, right?
Yeah, we signed Kirksey. Martinez is gone. He signed with the Giants, so there's a big hole there at linebacker. We signed Kirksey. Kirksey's solid. He just got some health problems.
Yeah.
He's been hurt the last few years, but I mean, he can play, and he knows Pettin. He played for Pettin in Cleveland. But I mean, we've been playing a lot of like hybrid stuff with safeties coming up in the box, and then we just get exploited in the run game at times. And so it'd be nice to have a couple of solid LBs in the middle, man.
How are you feeling about the Packers going into next year? Obviously, Aaron Jones was a freaking rock star this year,
Right.
and
Yeah.
the running game finally came to fruition without McCarthy.
Yeah.
You know, how are we feeling about 2020 and beyond?
I like the outlook next year. I mean, obviously the window's shrinking on Rodgers, so we got to get it done here soon. I would definitely think we need another playmaker at wide receiver. Take a little heat off Adams, and I mean Lazard played well last year at times. I mean he looked solid, but we could use another guy, and we need a tight end that can make some plays. Like I said,
Well, you got what's that kid's name?
Sternberger.
Sternberger. Yeah, like I mean,
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I think he can make a major impact this season.
I do too. Yeah. He's gonna know the system better, and there's opportunity there. You know, Jimmy Graham's gone. He didn't really do anything for us, but yeah.
Oh, that's not really surprising.
Yeah.
Jay Howard. I mean, is there ever going to be a year like outside of the one Jermichael Finley year where you guys actually use the tight end?
Right.
I
That's
don't
the
think-
thing, man. You know, it's Finley was a beast, but after that, you know, there hasn't really been much production out of there.
There's Zach Bond, the linebacker out of Wisconsin, that could make sense for you guys. as
Absolutely. Yeah. He played on the edge at Wisconsin, but he also he played in coverage some, and he doesn't really have your typical edge size. He's a little smaller. He doesn't have the length. I mean, he can get behind the line and make plays, but he can also play off ball. I think he probably fits better off ball, so I could see him in our range. But him or Queen, I'd be happy with. I could see us going tackle if what I think is Josh Jones still out there. He was a guy I've seen mock to him.
Yeah, I think he's still here.
Yeah, we signed Ricky Wagner to replace Balaga, and Wagner's, serviceable, but you got to protect number 12 if we're gonna make a run.
Yeah, especially too, like he not that he's immobile now, but he's definitely kind of lost a step with his capability. So
yeah, he's not. not doesn't move around like he used to anymore. I mean, he's still crafty, but
Oh, he's still Houdini, but
right. But yeah, no, I mean, I like the outlook. I'd like to see a few more pieces added and try to make a run with Rodgers here while he's still got it.
Yep.
I got a hot take. Living close enough to the
Oh,
Packers. I mean, I work with a lot of Packers fans. How about the secondary, man? Grant Delpit right here. I think
Right.
that they could address the secondary, go out and get, Clinton Dix has been long gone. They really need. I mean, you got Stafford slinging the ball in this division. You got Cousins. They're reloading with receivers. I think the secondary is a need for them to address, and you can get receivers later. You can get a lot of these position players later, but a guy like Delpit, I think, again, untapped upside, a guy that is a baller out there who can make a difference for the Packers.
I don't
here we go,
get
folks. We got to trade
I don't get the
Oh,
Grant
Green
Delpit.
Bay.
to the
You don't like
Packers.
Delpit?
Wow.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Ooh.
Before the season last year, we were talking about Grant Delpit as a top 5 pick. Now he sounds like he's borderline first round, probably not even going to go in first round. What happened there? Like, why did did just some of his flaws become more apparent, or what's going on? Does anybody-
He struggles. He struggles tackling, man. He definitely struggles wrapping up and making tackles. He's great in coverage. He's got good range. He was, a lot of stuff came out that he played injured this year. So
Are you guys about to take a quarterback? I think you guys just
Yeah, I was just gonna say because they're showing Jordan Love on the couch and he's smiling, and it looked like his girlfriend was smiling.
yeah, and his family's like got a camera and shit up. I think you guys just took Aaron Rodgers.
What?
Are we about to see Aaron Rodgers turn into Brett Favre?
wow.
I
I knew it was a
I-
possibility, but
No way.
think it just happened, unless ESPN's selling us a bag of lies. Which,
Yeah, let's.
yeah, I mean, what about Seattle as a running back home? Obviously, the Rashad Penny thing didn't help.
Nah, I think they still have faith in those two guys.
Carson
Actually,
Penny.
no. Actually, I'm with you, Kyle. Rashad Penny hasn't proved anything yet. Like, he looked good in like limited touches, but both these guys are coming off big injuries. None of them. Well, Penny, yeah, you burned a first round pick, but they want to run the ball. That's their MO. So, like, why not get it? I'm not saying, Kyle, they're going to reach for running back in the first or second round, but I think like third, fourth round, they might throw a dart and take another running back. I wouldn't be shocked, to your point, at all.
Let's see what the Packers do here.
I think Seattle's actually going to rebuild the defense a
Kyle,
little
if
bit.
it's Jordan Love, you can go ahead and tell us when it happens. I
Oh
know.
my God,
Is it Jordan Love?
it's Jordan Love.
it's Jordan
Oh
Love.
my God, Jordan Love! What?
Wow, I think that's the surprise
Wow.
of the draft so
Kyle,
far.
talk me through your emotions here. Like, do you need to get off
Like,
the camera? for a while? Like,
I don't know.
I might have to take a minute here, man. I
I
gotta.
This is the instant reaction thing about these shows that
I can send you to the
timeless,
green room for
priceless.
like 5 minutes if you need to go take a walk and come back.
I mean, it's the same
breaths,
thing.
deep breaths.
Yeah, it's the same scenario when we took Rodgers, right? Yeah.
was just gonna.
Well, I mean-
I so wish
Guys,
they
does-
had a
does this
camera
make you
on,
feel
on
old,
Aaron
though?
Rodgers right now.
Does this make you guys all feel old that we're experiencing this again for the second time? It seems like.
I feel old knowing that like Antoine Winfield's son is about to be
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
like that to make
Oh my
you go,
God!
Man, I don't know what's going on right now.
Wow. No
What?
one predicted this. Let the record state no one in their fucking right mind predicted this. Excuse my French, man. Like,
I
seriously?
bet you can find a few mocks, but yeah.
I mean,
To
it
the
was
Packers?
people had been talking about how Green Bay did kind of need to address the quarterback position because his Rodgers' backups have been
Oh man,
garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, they've
Yeah.
been a dumpster fire for
Right.
years.
Oh,
and-
Matt
Right.
Flynn, Matt Flynn.
Yeah.
Kaiser,
Oh,
One hit
come
so
wonder.
sad.
Oh,
on.
Kaiser was like, man.
Yeah, I
believe
mean,
Deshaun Kaiser thing.
I guess it
Not
makes
a thing.
sense. Everybody says Jordan Love's got to sit for a few years and develop. So I just wonder how that quarterback room's going to be with him and Rodgers.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Rodgers remembers
Ooh.
how it was when he came in and wants
Yeah.
to be a little. You know, a little more.
Right.
I will say this much: Love's going to a state that you can't get better cheese curds and beer than in
Yeah.
Wisconsin. So, like, honestly, hopefully
was
he
he
likes both those things
Yeah, unless he's trying to play. If he's trying to
because
play
he
left
ain't going to be
tackle,
playing anytime soon, guys.
No.
No. I think it's a good fit. I mean, he's a bigger guy. He's got a big arm. I think
Right.
LaFleur is great with quarterbacks. So
Right.
if he sits for two even 3 years, if Rodgers tries to extend his career even longer than we expect, like I think this is a great move by Green Bay.
Right.
So-
Right, this is exactly what a lot of people have been saying for a long time about Love is that like he needs to be in that perfect scenario storm
Yeah.
where he doesn't have that pressure on him, like you said, Brian. Like now they can just sit back, let him hold the clipboard for a year or two in the same deja vu as Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So like, yeah, like I can get on board with this, you know.
or Aaron Rodgers replaces Jimmy Garoppolo in San Francisco, and Jordan Love starts next season or 2021.
Gosh,
See, I really thought the Colts should have taken a Love, you know, rewinding back because they could have had that situation where they have Rivers, gunslinger, modern day Brett Favre mentality, throws a lot of picks, but then just learn. Like I don't know, like Rodgers is great.
I feel like they think Brissett can be that guy. Like he can go into the background for a season and then come back. Like
He's the best backup in the league.
Is he?
Kyle, that's about it. Well, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's pretty fair. I don't know. Until
Well, okay. If we're assuming that Justin Herbert is going to take over for the Chargers, I think I'd probably rather have Tyrod Taylor than Jacoby Brissett.
No.
I'm going to disagree. I'll take Brissett.
we've done the
I don't know.
Tyrod song. It's nah,
Uh-oh.
fan.
Wow, not great reviews on the Love pick from all my friends here.
I just don't get why, to Brian's point earlier on the show, like, why don't you take a linebacker here? You have Queen sitting there. You have.
I would have
I
liked
don't
Queen
get it, man.
for
Like,
sure.
I don't know. Titans are sitting there and they got
like honestly, guys,
they
they
got-
could have got a Jake Fromm in the 3rd or 4th round or Jacob Eason.
Well, Eason-
Are those guys really that far off from where Love is? In my mind, not really.
Easton
I
is
don't know.
garbage. Easton is like trash bags carrying down the street. I think Fromm's okay in the right system, but I think you really have to have a really like he could go to San Francisco and make a lot of sense. Like if you have a really good running game, a really good defense, and don't ask him to do too much, I think he'll be okay. But yeah, I don't know.
Right, but if you want a developmental quarterback, my point, Kyle, is like you could have taken Jalen Hurts in the 3rd or 4th round and has as much upside, I think, as a Jordan Love. I don't know.
Love if you want a guy who can play sooner, I think you want somebody like Fromm. If you want somebody with upside, I think you have to go Jordan Love.
We're just beating the crap out of Brian's team right here, but I don't know.
Kyle's team.
Kyle.
Kyle.
Kyle's the Packers.
But I literally just wrote gonna hop out for a minute. So
It's all good.
You're that upset, Kyle?
no, I
It's
just gotta
okay.
get a beer, man.
Go for it, dude.
Oh,
Yes, go for it.
I might go shave.
no
too, I
asking
don't
us that question.
know. I'm gonna go shave and grab a beer. I'll be back.
I was looking on Twitter right here, and I guess Aaron Rodgers is on the Pat McAfee show, and he said, "We haven't picked a skill player in the 1st round in 15 years, so that would be kind of cool."
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is kind of like the Big Ben thing when they drafted Mason Rudolph, that Rodgers is going to kind of be like, what are you guys doing here? Like, look at the people making these decisions. What are you guys thinking? Unless Rodgers is like already scripting to them, guys, that, hey, I'm playing 2 more years. You guys better prepare. Maybe
Well-
that's what's going on.
Yeah, that, and then also too, like, what is Rodgers' contract situation? I know he had signed that big extension. Like, how many more years are left on that? That maybe we see him pull the Tom Brady, like he wants to extend his career in another place.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, like, I was joking kind of about the Niners, but not really. Like I think that's
what McCarthy does to you, Brian. Like it's still like just like continues to like affect him after the fact, you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, you got to remember too. Like, I know Rodgers didn't play the snaps, but he did, sit for all that time. So he's a little bit older than, like, he's 36. If we're talking
36,
about,
yeah.
and he'll be 38 in a couple of years. Like, I could see him saying, "All right, I'm good."
I mean, Brian,
Like,
don't
going-
get mad at me, but to Kyle's point, something in me says that like Aaron Rodgers has like accomplished so much and been so good for so long that I just don't know if he has that like desire or motivation that say like a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning had like late in their career to keep playing. You know, like he's been with so many bad coaching staffs and like just I don't know. To me, maybe it's more like Aaron Rodgers, like ready to say life after football is okay for me. I'm ready for that. I don't know.
I think you're reading the tea leaves a little too much there, Ryan.
Maybe.
I don't really see Aaron Rodgers like having much of a personality to begin with on the football field. Like we see him, he gets angry, but he doesn't seem like a great leader. I don't see him as being a person that would give the team the benefit of a doubt either of saying like I'm playing 2 more years and then I'm out of here. He's just gonna be up one day and say, you know what, screw this, I'm out of here.
That's a pretty good breakdown. Like most Packers fans would put it that way, but I think that's exactly in a nutshell how it is. He's just not the kind of guy that you're going to hang out with outside of work. Like, I mean, Rodgers is not that guy. Like, I think there's something about what you just said, being that leader and like having that charisma and like, I don't know, like maybe that's what he's lacked for so long to put him above and put him on that Tom Brady-ish level, you know, which he's not there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers has consistently been probably if not the best. I mean, he's definitely kind of, as he's aging, he's losing it, but the best arm talent in the NFL we've seen prior to Patrick Mahomes. And if he does want to stay and play until he's 40, I think he definitely has the ability to do that. He would just have to find a team that has, you know, an offensive line and weapons on the outside to complement his particular, you know, style of play.
It's all about the motivation.
When Ryan Tannehill falls apart this season, we gladly take him in Nashville.
Oh, God. That's your savior, man. You can't give up on Ryan Tannehill just yet.
I feel like we need to take a shot on somebody, whether it's Jameis or, I don't know, somebody.
Well, we all thought Tom Brady was going to ride off into the sunset and retire as a New England Patriot, but that didn't happen. So, hey, it could happen, Kyle.
Yep, Montana ended up elsewhere. Peyton Manning, Johnny Unitas, Jordan Brooks. Interesting.
All right, guys, the Seahawks. What do you say, guys? Is it going to be what position?
It's inside linebacker Jordan Brooks,
or the guy from Penn State. I think
they've already made the pick.
You know, Pete Carroll. He's always trying to look to kind of make that defense his tough nose, not let up many yards on the ground. And, you know, they've seen a lot of people leave with the free agency because a lot of those guys kind of hit the market after their first contract. They had signed big deals, so they lost a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, there he is. I'm not a fan.
Welcome back, Kyle.
Let's bring in an IDP specialist here.
Oh, hey.
Jordan Brooks over Patrick Queen. I got to throw it over to you, bud. Like,
I mean, I like Brooks. Don't get me wrong. He's solid. He had like 20 tackles for loss or something last year. It was a big number, but he's a 3-down guy. He was the leader of the Texas Tech defense. He had a lot of responsibilities and coverage and stuff. I mean, he's a good player. He ran like 4.5 something at the combine. I think he only ran the 40. He ran like 4.55 or something. So he's got the speed.
Is he more versatile than Queen, though, in your opinion, though?
No, I think Queen's more versatile. I think Queen's got a little bit of learning to do. You know, but I think he's got a higher ceiling.
Who's better dropping back in coverage between those two?
I would take Queen. I think he.
Okay.
I think he'll develop better too in coverage. He's still.
Which is why I'm questioning that pick. Like honestly, after your take, because like there's going to be a lot. Like they're in a division with Kyler Murray, you know, Jared Goff. You need that pass coverage linebacker. That I think that's really what would put
Jared Goff and Kyler Murray in the same season. What kind of world are we living in?
It's been a fun time.
I do like Brooks though.
To Jared
sure.
Goff's credit, if the Rams offense is on schedule, it's still pretty difficult to stop.
Yeah.
Totally.
Agreed.
All right, so we're getting towards the end. I don't think Baltimore's taking a running back.
It's Miami at 30. Miami at 30.
I think this
Are you
could be-
sure, Kyle? Kyle, are you sure about that?
I'm not actually. Mark
I could
Ingram.
I could
Justice
see Queen
Hill.
going here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Justice Hill is still there. I think they want to get him more involved this upcoming season. They still got Gus the Bus. No way they crowd that backfield anymore.
What's your MO? You want to run the ball, smash mouth football. If they don't believe in Justice Hill, I think this is a perfect spot for Dobbins or Swift. Like,
My scenario is J.K. Dobbins to Tennessee, and then in a year he's back when Derrick Henry leaves. But Swift or CEH could be nice compliments to Derrick Henry for a team that wants to run the ball as much. Kind of worn down. Henry ended up getting by the time we played the Chiefs. The ball, and if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is that guy, and could be a nice compliment, and we can run some kind of unique offense with a team that wants to run the ball so much.
he's got a little Kamara to his game, right, Kyle? Like,
I see Mark Ingram as a runner with but a much better pass catcher.
I think a lot of people are shortchanging Clyde because like he is. I mean, this running back rookie class is unbelievable. But Clyde is that guy that's kind of like
little MJD
5'6", in the middle, but he could be as good at the end as the guys we're talking about in the first 2 or 3.
I also think a lot of people are discounting Jonathan Taylor's ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, mainly because he played in an offense that they just didn't throw the ball to the running backs. Like we saw him get more involved every year. He had an increased amount of targets and catches, so they were kind of making a concerted effort to get him more involved in the passing game. And I do think he does present the skill set for a 3-down back in the NFL if given the opportunity. It's just when you play for the Badgers, like you're just running downhill all day.
You got that Hall Mollies on that line. You're exactly right, Brian. It's like pound the football north.
I think if you put him in Kansas City as the RB1, like he's my 101. He's a first-round pick next year. If he's getting 20 carries, I don't know if that's going to happen. If he goes to Miami, like I like him there, but the talent won't be there with Tua and stuff to have it make sense to be that highly rated. I don't know.
Yeah,
all I can say is there's going to be some damn good running backs taken tomorrow.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
And they're going to be good landing spots. Cross our fingers here, guys.
Yeah, we'll have to get the band back together once the draft is all right.
Yeah, I'm being a little selfish offensively because we've been talking about Kansas City for how long, taking a running back. Let's see it. If it doesn't happen, then that's. You don't think it happens?
Could Patrick Queen make sense for Kansas City there, Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Queen makes sense for Baltimore too. They need a linebacker big time.
Yeah.
Kenneth Murray was the guy that was mocked there a lot because he fit. That was a really good fit, but yes, I could see Queen going there.
How is it possible that 32 picks take 4 hours? We're going on 3 hours and 40 minutes here. Like, how do these teams take all 10 minutes? Like, how is that possible?
It's like my fantasy draft. It's like because we'll do one live one every year, like an in-person one with all my buddies. And how does this draft take 6 hours? We're picking we'll take the whole freaking day to do it. Antoine Winfield, that could make sense.
Just don't do a slow draft, Kyle. Make sure you got the timer on and it's, I don't know, 30 minutes.
We're drafting in person. There's no timer.
Yeah.
Everyone's drinking. We're barbecuing. It takes.
No time limit. Oh man, I get the 3-minute timer out and I play the Jeopardy music. As soon as we get to like 20 seconds, it's going on.
Some of our like local ones are, but we do like a trip every year, so it's kind of like a whole thing.
Yeah, Kyle goes to like Lake Tahoe and all these like nice places, and we're just like drafting in our fucking basements.
Cabin.
Like,
Yeah, the Ravens are going to be sick this year. They added Calais Campbell and who else they had, Kyle? They had another stud. Blanking.
Me too. Yeah, they traded for Calais Campbell and
Ravens. I want to say a linebacker.
Really
Ron, who did they
think-
add?
I don't know. Campbell's talking right now, though.
oh, his picks in.
They were showing Patrick Queen, so that's probably
Yeah,
That's
linebacker makes a ton of sense for them.
yeah. They took.
Yeah, I
Queen.
think Ruiz would have made a ton of sense if he was still there, but obviously now that he's gone, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Lamar Jackson's like growth even more as a passer for this next year, because I mean we saw him break out as the 101 fantasy player who, I'm going to toot my own horn here and say I had predicted he was going to outscore Cam Newton last year and finish in the top 5. So
He did. I was there.
Nice.
but I mean, we saw him be exposed in that playoff game against Tennessee, and it was something we all kind of thought, if you can stop their running game and you put the onus on him to be able to throw the ball in the tight windows with heavy pressure, like he's still not there to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So I mean, he's definitely going to have to get better throwing the ball for them to kind of take that next step. And I'm excited to see if he's able to do that.
For him to do that, Brian, you're exactly right, 100%. They got to give him weapons. And I mean, we talk about like running back, but like seriously, give Hollywood Brown's great, but like you got to get another receiver. I think if the Ravens can get Denzel Mims or a big time, tall, like possession receiver to kind of pair with Hollywood Brown, I think that's like the perfect scenario for them and Lamar Jackson. But you're exactly right. I mean, for him, there's going to be that, rewind back to Pat Mahomes, that just unbelievable year he had 2 years ago. And then this past year, it was Lamar Jackson. There's always going to be that kind of like let down, kind of you can't top what you just did, which is unbelievable kind of thing. So I think in order to do that and just stay on par, give this guy more weapons. And if they don't do that, then I'm going to be a little concerned, to your point, Brian. If they do that, then I think he can remain exactly where he is and was. And that's at the top of that list at the quarterback position as far as points and just what he gives you in fantasy.
Can we go back to Brandon Ayuk for a second? Like, I want to talk about him because I think he's interesting. Obviously, broke out this year after not really doing a whole lot, obviously. And it's funny because he went to JC just down the street from me. But he broke out as a 22-year-old. And Ron, was he at the Senior Bowl? I feel like
he was. He had a medical issue, and we were all so pissed off because we wanted to see him like in practice. No, seriously. And we were all just like, first day, we're like, where's Brandon at? And he's standing there at the first practice after the practice, and we're doing interviews in like street clothes, and we're thinking like, man, we're not gonna get to see this guy. And that's exactly what. Here's the thing, though, Kyle, you heard this. I'm sure you guys all heard this. There was like talk that I forget exactly who said it, that he was a better prospect than N'Keal Harry coming out of Arizona State like this year compared to last year. And I think there's a little bit of like truth to that statement, honestly.
Yeah, I'm starting to worry about Arizona State products in general. Jalen,
I think you're not an Eno Benjamin fan then.
I actually love Eno Benjamin. I think as a running back, they're okay. And I think the Kalen Ballage is actually a wide receiver, and that's why he's terrible at the next level.
Yeah, terrible attitude too, Kyle.
Yeah, I want it's interesting because I want to be excited about him. I think he obviously there's availability in that offense. I think it's really interesting some of the stuff that they'll run with him. But breaking out at that age, doing some of the stuff, not doing a whole lot until he was 22. Those are all like little red flags that are going up that I am curious about.
Where do you think the Titans are going to go here?
Ooh, put
Defense.
Kyle on the spot.
I'd like to get running back, but I think it's defense. I think it's probably linebacker or maybe defensive line. Gross Matos or AJ.
Didn't they lose an offensive lineman, Kyle?
Yeah. we lost Conklin to Cleveland. We Dennis Kelly back, and then they signed somebody else too. So they've addressed it in the short term. I don't think there's anybody here yet that they can draft. Oh yeah,
But they could reach for an offensive lineman here though.
What about DB?
I mean, corner is always an issue. I just don't know who's there that would make sense.
I know Gladney's still there and Christian Fulton's still there.
I'd be happy with that. I don't think safety is crazy either. I think
Delpit.
Obviously, Byard makes sense, but somebody opposite him would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
especially because we're going to be playing against teams like Kansas City if we want to go, and the Ravens, and
exactly.
We're in need
to beat those teams. You need to shut down safety. One that's going to take risks. More often than not. Okay, he might get beat, but he also make that big play. I think that's the kind of big play, safety you guys need. I mean,
what's the best safety that can come up and make plays in the box? And because obviously Kevin Byard makes plays in the passing game, but we could definitely use someone who can be in the box safety and dropping coverage when needed.
I think McKinney would fit that bill for you.
Okay.
He's pretty versatile. He's got good instincts. He can come up in the run support. He's solid all around. Winfield's a playmaker, but he's a little smaller. But he's good. He's good in run support too.
Yeah. As we look ahead to tomorrow in the second round, Brian, is there a player team combo that you're kind of looking at that you're thinking that'd be fun? That could make a lot of sense. Is there or is it really is tomorrow the day of the running back? Like, are we really excited to see kind of where all these guys go?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I'm really excited to see like where all these running backs go in round 2, and then also like I'm a big fan of T. Higgins. I think he could make a big impact as kind of like a bigger guy in like a red zone of his first year. So I'm interested to see his landing spot also. But I mean, it's got to be the running backs for day 2 and rounds 2 and 3.
Yeah. All right, the pick is in the Tennessee.
I won't ruin it for you.
I appreciate that.
So Brian, give us some of your predictions for running backs tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Wilson.
Predictions.
Oh, all right. Let's check here. Let's see.
Oh, Ronald.
Well, I mean, looking down the list, looking at the second round, I mean, when you look at picks 1 through 5, you're looking at Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Detroit, New York, New England. I really only see maybe New England taking a shot on a guy. I mean, Bill Belichick, he's never sold on one dude. But then after that, I mean, you got Miami again at 7.
What about a rebuilding Cincinnati team that has an unhappy Joe Mixon? Is there a chance they take somebody there?
No.
See, I was going to go the other way. I was going to go with Lions taking a running back, Kyle, to your point. But I think you're in the right place here. These teams that we don't think are going to take a running back could take a running back and just fool us all. And I think the Lions and the Bengals are actually 2 teams to kind of just keep your eye open for, because there's some damn good running backs left there on the board. Who's going to take them?
I think Cincinnati would be foolish not to try to lock up Joe Mixon to kind of put him with Joe Burrow in that backfield. Like, Joe Mixon is an elite talent, and if they could somehow sway him into kind of rekindling his relationship with the organization, I think that's going to be a really good combination for years to come.
Yeah, well, especially with a rookie quarterback, like having that ability, and because obviously he can be involved in the passing game too, which helps a lot. But just to have that guy who can handle the rock, I think the Chargers are a sneaky team. Although, did they trade their second round pick to move back up? So they out.
Yeah, so they're pretty far.
So
I gotta look at their. I gotta look at the updated thing because I know a lot of these teams are moving around. So, but I want to get an idea of tomorrow's picks because I think.
I mean, maybe a lot of these running backs are going to go in the third round. And in past years, we've seen guys like David Johnson go in the third round and just ball out. We've seen Kareem Hunt go in the third round, ball out.
So Texans consider running back, considering even though they traded for David Johnson.
I mean,
does Jacksonville take a running back if they assume they're to give themselves a little Leonard Fournette insurance?
I'm kind of disappointed with not seeing as many trades as I thought we would see, guys. And I think that like tomorrow we're going to see some more trades, and we didn't see them today. So I think to your point, Kyle. Yeah, I mean, Fournette's been on the block all week, month. It seems like there's got to be some where there's smoke. There's usually fire. I mean, it's coming. And to your point, if it does, happen, then yeah, they're taking a running back, and my God, they have a lot of good running backs to choose from.
Is there a possibility 45 takes one of the running backs tomorrow? You think Dobbins or Swift or Edwards-Helaire fall that far?
That would just kill our Rojo takes here, though.
Yeah, I love Rojo, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire could be the pass catcher that Tom Brady loves having out of the backfield.
He could be the James White. Yeah.
I mean, Atlanta's there. They could take a running back.
I could get on board. I could also get on board with the Lions taking Helaire. I mean,
carry on, dude. I want carry on to get the load.
We all want carry on to do it, Kyle, but he has not done it.
I think it's pretty telling, though, that like Detroit is putting all its eggs in the basket for Matthew Stafford's health, not trying to look at that quarterback. Like, I think
Ryan,
we could see them get somebody here.
Maybe a Jameis or Cam situation.
Well, maybe not a Jameis or Cam, but I could see them going and getting one of those like second-tier quarterbacks in the second round, because who knows what's going to happen with Stafford's back issue.
The thing is, if they think they can compete in the NFC North, you're exactly right, Brian. You have to set the table and get a backup, because we saw what happened last year with Stafford getting hurt and Driscoll coming in and these guys actually playing okay in his stead. But at the same time, like, prepare yourself for the future. We see your Packers, the Packers doing this right now. They're preparing for the future. This is what these teams need to do. They need to prepare for the future, and that's why my Bears are going to take a running back.
Dude,
where are we? On, man. If Jonathan Taylor's still sitting there, the Bears will take it.
You've already, yeah. What about the
hot take? Just stay for tomorrow. I'm sorry, guys.
Who are we more out on, David Montgomery or Kerryon Johnson?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I like Montgomery better.
I'm actually going to go with Montgomery because, yeah, I do think I'm not ready to give up on him because it's only 1 year. With Kerryon, it's like, come on, man, stay healthy, get him a field play. So,
what about the receivers?
Montgomery was a little older though. Coming in.
Go ahead.
For who? Green Bay?
Oh, no. What with the receivers left over for tomorrow? Like T. Higgins, Denzel Mims, Michael Pittman. Like, do we have any favorite fits for those guys?
What, Chenault?
LaVisca?
Yeah, he's interesting.
I would love to see T. Higgins go to Indianapolis. I think that fits with Phillip Rivers having that big ball hawking guy that can go up and get it.
What about your boy Donovan Peoples-Jones? He could be a nice compliment in Philadelphia. Maybe
let the people speak.
Yeah, but I don't want him to go to Philly, man. Then I got to root against my Wolverines. They already have one of the greatest ones ever, Brandon Graham.
Just send him to Green Bay, man. We'll take care of him.
Conflictions there, Brian. That's okay if that happens.
Yeah. It'd be a nice compliment in that passing.
Expect the unexpected. That's exactly where we're at, guys.
We'll just say I'm torn about Ezekiel Elliott. Okay.
Ooh.
I can't stand him because he's from Ohio.
Tony Pollard's damn good though, Brian. Come on, man. Tony Pollard, baby.
Oh, I like Tony Pollard. I think this Cowboys.
Speaking of which, Antonio Gibson is like, dude. Memphis just keeps churning these running backs out. Darrell Henderson, dude, I'm telling you, Gibson. These guys are. I don't even know what Gibson is. Hold on, is he a wide receiver or a running back, guys? Can someone tell me?
Literally nobody knows.
Yeah.
Let's just hope he's not Tavon Austin. Okay.
It can't be that bad. No way. No way.
Oh man. Okay, the Dolphins pick is in.
Dolphins.
Rapidly approaching 3 hours. I appreciate y'all.
Jonathan Taylor, make it happen.
Yes, please.
Sorry, running back.
Sorry, that was my Dave voice because I was trying to delay it because of his connection. That was my Dave. Jonathan Taylor.
And stop for a second and then start talking again.
What did you say, Kyle?
Exactly.
I said Jonathan Taylor needs to. This needs to be the pick, guys. Come on, we've been calling for this all night. The Dolphins, right?
I don't think we're seeing a first round running back.
What is going on here, guys?
It's the year 2020 and running backs don't matter.
I guess not. They're all replaceable level players, apparently.
Unless you're the Cowboys or a dumb team like the
Even
Titans.
though we've had generation type running backs in this class that are still sitting there, and it's like, hello.
Yeah, but
I will make the argument for guys like Ezekiel Elliott. He does stuff that other running backs just don't do, as far as like getting that extra yard after contact, like always falling forward, being able to get those extra few inches. Like that's something that not all backs can do.
I feel like you need to take like either they're a top 5 type pick or they're a day 2 pick. Like I don't think drafting somebody at the end of the first round makes a lot of sense. Like either it's McCaffrey or Zeke or something special, or you wait till round 2 or 3 and you just take whoever and plug and play.
Again, I'm just shocked that these guys aren't like one of these running backs didn't go, because I mean, just they're super uber talented, and just the fact that one of them did not go, I don't know, guys. I'm still kind of shocked, even given like what we already know about the NFL, and it's a passing league, yes, but if you can get a back like a J.K. Dobbins or DeAndre Swift or Jonathan Taylor, I mean, that's a guy that you could build your whole offense around. If you're Miami, it makes a ton of sense.
I mean, even Miami getting Winfield here, like if they really want to solidify the back end of that defense, I mean, that would be a huge upgrade.
We should start playing what's in Brian Flores' cup, because I guarantee you.
Oh wow!
Watch, guys. The Patriots are going to take like Jonathan Taylor or Swift, and we're all going to be like, "What the just happened?" And we'll be like, "Just expect the unexpected."
Who the hell is that guy?
Yeah.
Admittedly, I didn't get to see a lot of SEC football this year.
Wow.
I can't say his name. I know that much, but I did watch. Yeah, thank you. All right. No, I did watch some tape on him. He is an explosive athlete. He is like fast, physical. He's just a little raw, but the traits are there, man.
It's interesting that they. No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Brian.
I'm just gonna.
It's a good pick for a team like Miami that's not looking to compete this year and is willing to spend the time to get him where he needs to be.
Yeah, I think it. I was just gonna say, I think it is really interesting though, because they're in a division where New England, we don't know what they're doing at quarterback, so they're not really going to be a threat in the passing game. Buffalo, I mean, they got Stephon Diggs, but we all know Josh Allen's not the most, accurate passer. And then you have the Jets, who they have no weapons on the outside either. And I really think Miami, like they were already kind of set on the outside with Jones and Xavier Howard, unless they're concerned about Howard's health. But
right. No, I mean, yeah, he's a return guy too. So I mean, he brings that to the table. So he's got big time speed, and he's definitely got the skills. He's just a little raw.
Yeah, I mean that was a nice trail to get Devonta Smith. So I would like to go. I think he's a guy that would be good to go back, because you can watch him against the Alabama guys. You can watch him against
he played tough competition, right?
Yeah. So.
I mean, going to your point about him being a returner, and kind of what I've been hearkening on with Brian Flores being kind of that Bill Belichick disciple. We all know where Bill Belichick teams have traditionally excelled, and that's in special teams. So,
well, I think it's funny. I think it's interesting too, because I bet a lot of the scouts were watching.
Brian, preach it.
They put in the tape for Justin Jefferson. They put in the tape for Jerry Jeudy, and he kept popping off the tape. And they're like, "Oh, let's go back and watch some more. Let's go back and watch more." That's how guys like this vault up into the, the back end of the first round.
Kyle, it's called falling in love and just watching tape and just falling in love You know.
It's exactly it. Just falling in love.
Yeah, I mean, that's your
Watch
guy,
the
man.
tape.
Plant your flag, you know, like, and that's what we're gonna see with
Yep.
these teams.
Yeah.
Some of them
Yeah,
we
look at
question
this.
more than others. We're like, where did that pick come from?
So there's 2 picks left. It looks like the Vikings pick is in. Is there a chance Kansas City trades out and someone comes in to get a quarterback? I think, Brian, we kind of talked about it on our prop bets show, but then we need one more quarterback to hit the over on quarterbacks, and I don't think that's happening at this point.
No, I mean, you got New England, who they're probably going to take a chance on somebody, but it's more than likely going to be at the end of the second or middle third. I mean, you got Jacksonville. We don't know how sold they are on Minshew Mania, but yeah, I don't see anybody really jumping in here to take a Fromm or any of those guys in Eason.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts would be the one guy, but it doesn't seem likely at this point. Vikings select.
He seems like Kyle Hurts seems kind of like that Pittsburgh pick in the 4th round where they're like, all right, we know Big Ben's like ready to get the hell out of here.
About this, but I think Jameis Winston's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Wow.
Yes. Kyle had that take a couple weeks ago, and I think that's a perfect
I haven't
fit.
heard that one, man. That's wild, man.
I think it makes a lot of sense. I think he fits what they want to do. Him and Big Ben are very similar quarterbacks. And I think he comes in and competes with Ben. And if Ben's not healthy, not what he needs to be, I think Jameis is starting there and Ben is out. And if not, Ben's out in a year. I think there's a very high likelihood that within 2 years we lose Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, and Aaron Rodgers.
And we really are getting old.
Rivers?
And Phillip Rivers.
Yes.
Yep.
It's the age of the new age quarterbacks, and these guys that like Josh Allen's of the world. I mean, Pat Mahomes is unbelievable. Lamar Jackson. I mean, guys, just watching these young quarterbacks play, and then we see the next class come in and get excited about that. And then next year we're going to get even more excited about Justin Fields, Kyle. Trevor Lawrence. So
Fields is
yeah,
fun. We still haven't seen a safety taken, have we?
No.
Del Pitt, where the hell are you at, Del Pitt?
I don't know, but I have him as the first safety off the board, so I need that to happen. And I have DeAndre Swift.
IDP take, Kyle. We are not IDP guys. We have an IDP guy right here with us. We need his take.
On what?
Why hasn't Del
So
Pitt
Kyle,
selected?
yeah, what's the deal there?
I just think the drop off in play from last year to this year was noticeable, and he's got some tackling woes, man. He does have great range. He's big, he's fast, he's got good range. He can close, but he definitely those tackling woes showed up on tape.
So you think it's just the tackling woes why he's not in the first round here? Because he's a big player. You know,
Right.
He can make those big plays in the secondary and take it back for 6.
Right. I'm not sure. The word was he was hurt all year. I think he had a pretty significant ankle injury. He was playing through it, which he showed some toughness there. But I like Delpit. He was my 4th or 5th safety, I think.
So he's more like a 2nd round grade for you.
Yeah. I had McKinney first. I had Winfield second. I actually had Ashton Davis third, out of Cal. And
Davis is a guy I want to see in Senior Bowl, and he was hurt too. He was
track athlete, man, super fast, great in coverage. Just need some more reps. He kind of had,
just an athlete.
You watch his tape, man, and he just jumps out at you athletically. He can just close, man. But yeah, I could have seen Delpit going in the first. I could have seen Winfield going in the first. But yeah, I guess day 2.
Yeah.
It'd be
I'm guessing the fact that none of them really blow any the other ones out of the water that it keeps them.
Right. Oh, then you had the small school
Correct me
guys.
if I'm wrong. We haven't seen a safety taken the first round, right? So it's all big quarterback.
Yeah, it's all DBs, and it's a really good DB class. So
yeah.
But then you
let's get back to the let's get back to the exciting part of the ball, the offense here.
I was
And,
waiting for that, man. I was waiting for that.
We're about it. I thought we wanted to talk about Andy Reid's Hawaiian shirt collection because that
Right?
shirt is impressive.
There you go.
Yes, yeah, exactly. He's ready to luau, and speaking of, he's ready to party again. So, like, what position do the Chiefs need the most to like fill out that offense more than running back here?
Everybody wants to run back. It's
Edwards
not gonna be
Hilaire,
right.
baby.
It's not going to be running back.
J.K. Dobbins, man. Kyle is going
But-
to lose his, you know what.
If they were to take a running back here, would that guy in even season long, would he immediately be a top 10 RB?
Dobbins is my 101 if he
If-
goes to the Chiefs. I don't
If
care.
it's
what-
Taylor or Dobbins, I think so.
Yeah.
I think if it's DeAndre, no. Also, if they take Swift here, I will be leaving the room for a little bit. So you guys feel free to.
If they take Dobbins, you gonna pull a shot of whiskey or something, or what?
I want to see
Take
that.
Dobbins. I'll go get the crown and just drink the whole bottle.
No reservation.
Right.
Round one. This is what happens, you know.
How exciting has this been to have something actual sports related that we didn't like have, the outcomes to, just to be able to watch? Like,
You know, this just kind of begs the question, Kyle. I just want to ask you guys off the cuff. Since all this has happened, have you taken up a new hobby? Because I'll admit to you guys, I bought a mountain bike and started like biking around because I was so like tired of being like isolated in my own house. Like I had to find a new hobby, guys. And like,
I
yeah,
started working out.
of course.
Okay, it's a wild experience.
You guys do anything different, anything new that you haven't done before? Because
I haven't
don't know if
really,
you've tried before, but
I haven't really been able to do much because it's still snowing here in Michigan.
Man, I haven't done shit because all I'm doing is going to work every day.
Yeah, Brian,
you're going to work. You're not working from home.
he's on the front
I
line.
work at I'm a receiver at a grocery store.
But you're going to work, man.
Yeah, it's been hell. We'll just say that.
Cheers to you, Brian. I mean, it's the guys that are doing the work behind the scenes because like everybody else is like we're in our basements like working, quote unquote working. That's what I say I'm doing. And some days it's busy, but yeah, it's like when I go, whatever, Starbucks, get a coffee, whatever. It's like these people are clocking in, they're taking, the risk that's involved here.
Yeah, shouts to y'all.
Yeah, shout out to the
Can we
people
talk
doing the work.
about it is that Kyle's dealing with snow, and I've had my AC on the past couple days.
Yes, it's been hotter than shit out here in California.
We got a foot of snow last weekend.
Wild,
Damn.
wild.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
That's why I haven't shaved my beard. It's so cold here.
That's
Yeah, right. Yeah.
See,
Yeah, I think it was like low 90s.
I don't think I can compete with you, man, because like your beer will like blow me out of the water. But yeah.
Andy Reid looking for an episode of CSI to watch. He's done with the draft.
No, Hawaii 5-0 with that.
Yeah.
right.
And he's
Now
not
he's
watching that
watching-
new garbage either. He's watching the old school Hawaii 5-0.
He's a strictly Burt Reynolds guy.
Yes.
Strictly.
Okay, come on, Jonathan Taylor.
Oh man.
Come on,
It's
J.K.
not.
Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins.
It's going to be defense.
Oh God.
Well, Kyle already knows.
Oh yeah, dude. I
It's
knew 5
something good.
seconds. ago.
Oh shit!
Such a delay here, guys. Don't.
He is the guy that fits the offense. The
Oh
best.
hell yeah.
Is it DeAndre Swift?
Nope.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God! Can you please?
Oh!
Die.
He fits the
Oh,
offense.
nice.
The best.
Where? Wow.
I'm pretty sure Kyle and I did mention this on our previous pod. Like we were talking about how like he's the perfect fit for
He
what
was
Kansas
like
City wants to do.
1 to be the first running back, and I didn't take it like an idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
he
1-1 city, right?
Yep.
Clyde, baby. Oh, sorry, guys. My delay is so bad. It's really bad. But as Brian was saying, I was like getting so excited because I'm like, running back. Yes. I'm like, who's going to be? Wow. This guy, you look at what he's done in the SEC in the national championship game. You look at what he did. I mean, this guy can do it all. I mean, a pass catching running back. That's what you're looking like Andy Reid, guys, let's for a second think about what Andy Reid actually really legitimately wants. He wants a running back that's a workhorse, back in the Shady McCoy days, like Brian Westbrook. Those are the guys he wants, but he hasn't had them just yet. And now
I think Brian Westbrook's a really good comp for him.
Yes, I was going to say. I think that's perfect because we're looking at say hypothetically Damian Williams is gone, Kansas City would probably prefer to hand Clyde Edwards-Helaire maybe 12 to 15 carries out of the backfield and then utilize him, 5 to 7 touches as a receiver. And then, because his offense is going to be all ran through Patrick Mahomes. I don't think we're going to see him lining up in the I formation anytime soon.
All I can say is, Brian, is draft capital, guys. Like, you got to feel good if you have Clyde in your dynasty leagues and you drafted him before all this went down. Like, holy man.
Yeah. How do you guys approach rookie drafts? Like, do you prefer them before the draft, or do you like them after when you know landing spots?
My two long. Oh, go ahead. I would say my 2 longest running leagues, we usually go 2 weeks after the draft.
Yeah. Like, I think it's more fun for me just because I can dive into the tape and kind of have my favorite guys. But that's how you end up with the Bishop Sankeys and the Lake Seastrunks and the randos on your board. Yeah.
I think it's all, Kyle, it's all about like planting your flags, to your point, though. Like there's a player you really love, and like when you're doing these drafts, and like I said it like a week ago when our threads and our group meeting, I'm like, it's just drafting before the NFL draft is just an excuse for all of us that really want to draft and we're just really that, dedicated to it, that we don't care. We're like, okay, we don't know landing spots. We're just taking our own analysis, and the guys that we like respect out there in the world, the Emory Hunts, those guys, we're weighing in on that. At the same time, we're hoping that, this guy goes to this situation, and we're trying to like script that. So I actually like it, and I didn't used to like it. To answer your question, I hated doing drafts before the NFL draft, but now it's kind of like I have 3 or 4 different leagues that I do before, and I like it. I enjoy it. And you know what? If I'm wrong about a player, and if he goes to a bad situation, and I paid high draft capital, then oh well. Like it is what it is.
On the contrary, though, I do kind of like having it after the draft, because you can get steals on players that are in quote unquote bad situations. Like I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be a perfect example of a guy. If he did your before, he'd be a top 5 pick, and now he'll be like kind of back into the first round. And if I can get him there, I'm going to be ecstatic.
You're still going Lamb over Judy, though, right, Kyle? Or not?
I don't know.
Yeah, put you on the spot. You got to think about it.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, I'm still taking Lamb, but I'm kind of biased.
Yeah.
And Brian's sitting there like biased too. So I'm going to ask Brian the question.
All right. So the draft is over. I appreciate y'all hanging around. Ronnie been on for like 3 hours. Yeah, y'all are troopers. We'll get out of here in just a second. Before we leave, I need to go around the room. And Brian, I'll let you start. What is your favorite player to team fit pick, whatever? What is the one pick that stands out for you, whether it's fantasy, whether it's real football, whatever it happens to be? Which is the one that has you like the most pumped, the most excited, the most optimistic about what they could be in the situation?
I kind of tooted the horn of the offense when Kyle was talking about IDP players, and I could take the easy road out here and go with the last pick, but living in a house with a wife who is an Arizona Cardinals fan, I'm actually going to go with Isaiah Simmons. Like, I think that is such a huge move for the Cardinals. They are a team with tons of budding stars on the offense, and they just needed to kind of solidify that defense. And I think them and Miami are the 2 teams that are right on the cusp of turning the corner, becoming contenders on a year in and year out basis.
Ronald, what about you? What's your favorite pick of round 1?
I'm going to stick with the team that's been, hey, look, the guy makes moves. That's what he does in San Francisco. Javon Kinlaw, I've been pounding the drum for this guy for so long. They didn't trade DeForest Buckner for no reason, guys. They traded Buckner because they knew they could get somebody in this draft that would be almost to his level or close to it. I think Kinlaw is that guy. Again, like underdog story. I love the guy. I think that what he's going to do, the chip on his shoulder, what he's going to do at the next level, we're going to see this firsthand. And Lynch has been dead right about a lot of the picks that he's been making in the last 3 years. He's been like that puppet master orchestrating these things. I'm just sitting back watching it and in awe because I think he's making a lot of good decisions here.
Kyle, what about you? Are we turning into an IDP podcast?
I was just gonna say, man, Brian was getting on me about all the defensive talk, and then all we got is Kinlaw and Simmons. No, I like I definitely like the Simmons take and the Kinlaw take, and then another fit I like is Patrick Queen in Baltimore. They've been cycling through linebackers there, and since CJ Mosley left, and they haven't really found their guy, and I think they got their guy in Queen, and I think he's going to be a really solid asset there in the NFL wise and fantasy wise for IDP.
Plant that flag, right?
Yep.
You're exactly
right.
right.
Yeah, I like it.
Those are some good calls. Isaiah Simmons is definitely high on my list, but I'm going to go Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor is the guy that I've really come around on, and just knowing that he'll be Carson Wentz's like number one receiver, even if he's their third option behind Ertz and Goddard. I love that fit, and honestly, I'm going to be spending the next week or so debating him and Judy because I think obviously I like Wentz more than I like Locke, and even if he if I'm looking at the next 3 years, it's going to be real close between those two. So I'm gonna be diving through our notes, but guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for all the great information, and for everyone that joined us throughout the 3 hours. We appreciate y'all, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
See you guys. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming on.